Be quiet. Coda shush.
You guys,
everybody
has red hair.
My hair is red. Everybody brace yourselves. My hair is red. Everybody brace yourselves.
Here's the big reveal and go.
And go. It's red. You guys, my hair is red. Look at it. What do you think?
It's red.
What do you guys think?
Awesome.
It's red. What do you
think?
You're
like Jessica Rabbit.
Without the boobs. The boobs. Yes. I wanted a change. And so I got a change. If you need a change in your finances and you and Danger Girl with your finances, you should sign up for Zach's special inflation seminar live.
It's today.
Oh my God, that is today. The 25th is today. And you can still sign up at knowyourriskradio.com. You can still sign up. You can do it today. He's awesome. We love Zach, you guys at Bulwark. He's so great. So do it. knowyourriskradio.com.
Do it.
Yeah. Also, if you haven't subscribed to this podcast, what are you doing with your life? I don't like, what are you doing? You got to click subscribe. You got to click the bell thing. You got to just start clicking like a maniac, like a lunatic. Just click all the things and make sure that you're subscribed. All right.
Do it. Mm-hmm. Thank you very much to C. Douglas, who says, please pray for a gentle passing for my 90-year-old mother. Oh my gosh. Sweet mama.
So mamas.
And Osuki says, I can't believe I'm thinking this. I know when it happens, there will be martial law. Send in the army, not the watered down high heel wearing version, but the real thing. Take their tiny terrorist asses out. No rubber bullets, no water cannons, no pepper spray, no mercy, just plain old lead slugs. That's the only way to end this takeover of America. I'm glad I've lived as long as I have. I have memories of what a free country looked like. This is what happens when you don't spank. Wow, that was a lot to pack in.
It was.
Thank you very much for that. Mm-hmm. You guys, it's going to be a really long show. Like the longest.
I don't know if they're up. I should have checked when we were doing pre-show, but I added a shirt. I added products in our store.
You gotta post them.
Yeah. They're in our store from our site. If you go to our site, and it's hard to do it on a phone. I noticed that. I'm going to have to figure that out with our tech team. But if you go to our actual website at chicksonradio.com and then you go to the top and you click on store, there are now products that say it's going to be a long show.
Oh, yay. Yay.
Just in case you guys want. I mean, if they have to approve things because I've put stuff in there that has to do with 2A and everything. And they're like, we don't like that.
I can't imagine they're going to have a problem with saying it's going to be a long show. Like,
I don't think they're going to have a problem with that. No, because we have like CHAG with a picture of Hillary. So I think it's going to be all right. It's going to be fine.
And by the way, when I say today's going to be a long show, I mean like the longest ever. And so long, in fact, that I think we may require an intermission. Like there may be a point where I just like have to pee.
You know what I mean? Like, let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby.
I'm just saying it's going to be a really long show. I know I say that all the time, but today, like, I mean it so hard. I mean it harder than ever. So, you know what? We are nameless. Let me just fix that right now. Thank you very much for pointing it out. I do have a name today that is
a really good
honor of one of our storylines.
It's Benjamin Netanyahu.
And Anastasia 63 was like, who is you today? And that is who I is.
Right. Who I be.
All right, let's get into some things. So we'll start out with some screenshots of a big storyline that was like completely captivating Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it yesterday. But first we need to say thank you to Beba1983, who said they can never again say Trump incited J6 by saying go peacefully to the Capitol and not with that logic be responsible for J13 by calling Trump a threat and worse. That connection needs to be made. Thank you very much for that. So one of the things that was happening yesterday that was just making everybody absolutely crazy is this erasure of history, like the whole Men in Black pen in front of us all, trying to now make it seem like, oh, no. Kamala was never the border czar. I don't know where you guys are getting that information from. Where in the world would you get that idea? That's not a thing. So there were tons of headlines that people were posting before, in the before times and now. And it's just, as John Hassan says, totally Orwellian. So we have, an article from 2021 from the AP that says Biden taps VP Harris to lead a response to border challenges. And then Time yesterday, Kamala Harris was never the border czar. What are you guys talking about?
It's unreal.
And
it's methodical and calculated. It's crazy.
My gosh. And it was weird to see it all happening in real time.
So
AG posted an LA Times example saying Harris will lead the response to the migrant issue. The AP saying Biden taps VP Harris to lead the response. CNN saying Biden assigns Harris to lead diplomatic efforts to address immigration. And now they're like, when was Harris ever put in charge of addressing the migration crisis? That's a lie.
Unbelievable. And there's countless videos of it. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
These people, they just have zero scruples. Zero.
Yeah. And they think that we're not gonna know. Like that. The Axios example was the craziest of all, because Axios back in the day said in their own reporting, as you can see in the highlighted left, Harris, appointed by Biden as border czar, said she'd be looking at the root causes that drive migration. Yesterday, they said the Trump campaign and Republicans keep tagging Harris repeatedly with the border czar title, which she never actually had.
It's crazy.
This is the same publication.
Yeah.
What in the world?
Yep. I mean, we just need to call these people out at every turn with stuff like that. It'd be like, you said, you reported that she was the border czar, and now you're saying that she's not. You're full of crap. We believe nothing that you say. Nothing.
Well, here's the problem with doing that. Then they get even crazier, which you'll see in just a second. So this is the same author. So this Steph W. Kite person in March of 2021 wrote, Biden puts Harris in charge of the border crisis. And then yesterday wrote, Harris border confusion haunts her new campaign. There's no confusion. There's none. She was the border czar, and she completely failed at being the border czar. So when people started pointing out to Axios, hey, you guys are the ones that actually said she was a border czar, they actually said, they created an editor's note saying, this article has been updated and clarified to note that Axios was among the news outlets that incorrectly labeled her a border czar back in 2021.
Oh my God. It is literally Soviet. It is. Oh my God. It's right? It's communist China. It is blatant
unreal
propaganda is what it is. God, these people. They are just without morality.
It's crazy.
They'll do anything they can to hold on to power. Anything. They lie. Trust none of these people.
Wow. Like, just when you think they can't get more blatantly horrible, they exceed all expectations and get way, way, way worse. You know what else exceeds expectations? And that is this amazing preventative treatment powder from CoatDefense.com. Thank you. I've noticed actually that Miss Maisie is starting to nibble at her toe beans again.
No, don't nibble on those, Maisie. Don't.
She gets really chewy on them, and I know that means that there's something going on with her skin. This stuff will take care of it. I'll be using this today, and she won't necessarily like it, but I'll be sprinkling it on her feet and then rubbing it in between her toe beans. And then this stuff is freaking amazing. You can put it all over their coats too. So if your dog is having like itchy skin and they're starting to chew at whatever parts of their body, this actually really does the trick. This, and if you are a person who shampoos your dog, use a shampoo that doesn't actually strip all the natural oils that they need from their skin. That also can contribute to skin problems. These two products for dogs are amazing. They also have the same line for cats and for horses. And for people, they also have a human skincare line, which includes deodorant and shampoo, really, really gentle on your bodies. And when you go to CoatDefense.com and you use code CHICKS, you're going to save 15% off of your entire order. So please check them out. You're going to be really thankful because you're not going to be spending an exorbitant amount of money at the vet. This is the thing to try before you ever take your dog in for an expensive vet visit. CoatDefense.com. That's right. Sandy Stokes says Coat Defense works, and she is absolutely right about that. ABC, I thought this was a good screenshot from back in the day. An ABC News exclusive. This was in April of 2021, saying that on their ticker, saying VP Kamala Harris live leading the administration's efforts to respond to the border crisis. And now everybody's in denial about it. It's just amazing.
On purpose, with purpose. It is on purpose.
Yeah.
Yeah. They got like we heard yesterday, was it yesterday? No, 2 days ago, they got their marching orders. And the media got their marching orders to say, hey, just say this was all made up. Like this didn't happen. Gaslight everybody.
It's not just screenshots too. We also have video like this one from Chuck Todd from back in the day.
He's been tasked with some intractable assignments, from enacting national voting reform to solving the immigration crisis at the border.
She's tasked with solving the immigration crisis at the border. Okay. That's
Equals,
what I thought.
She's the border czar. That's what she is. Good Lord.
I don't know if it was News Nation or Newsbusters. I think maybe Newsbusters who put together this montage of literally befores and afters. So you're going to see some reporters saying, oh yeah, back in the day, they're saying, oh yeah, she's the border czar. And then more recent reports saying, I don't know why people are saying she was the border czar.
Quote, border czar. Vice President Harris was not a border czar.
Meantime, Vice President and border czar Kamala Harris facing some backlash.
What he said about Harris and immigration was not true. She was never appointed border czar.
And this will be her first visit to the U.S.-Mexico border region since she was appointed as the border czar by President Biden.
People are going to have to counter the misinformation. You already hear folks talking about the border czar. She wasn't the border czar.
President Biden tapped Kamala Harris, Vice President Kamala Harris, to be the border czar.
Now, she wasn't the border czar. That's what Republicans labeled her.
They were very critical of Kamala Harris, especially in her role as border czar.
Now what she's up against is folks lying about her border record, calling her a border czar.
Kamala Harris, who was appointed as the border czar.
The Biden team didn't declare her the border czar. They wanted her to work on kind of the root causes of immigration.
There has been so much criticism against Kamala Harris. You know, she was the border czar.
Calling her sort of the border czar, which wasn't necessarily the case.
So the border, if they weren't planning to address it in a major way, do not make her your border czar. She met with some of the Northern Triangle countries, but nothing has effectively changed.
I hate these people. I hate them. I'm serious.
It's amazing. You don't hate them enough, though. Like, as much as you can possibly hate them is still not enough. There's not enough hate.
Yeah, I hate them all. Yeah. And listen, if you see these people on a screen and you think that you're actually getting the news from them, I can't help you. They lie. Every day they lie to you. And we should have learned that from COVID.
Faye is saying, please tell us where to find this. I just played it. You can find it right here. So when this video is over, you can clip it out and you can share it that way.
Here.
I never understand why people are like, can you share that? I just did.
We share. The chicks on the right. The chicks on the right just shared it.
We just did. That's the whole point of our show.
Exactly.
We like you to share our show, and you can clip it out of our show, but like that's the whole point of our show is to share these things. You guys, the border thing is not the only thing that they're trying to erase from our collective mind history. GovTrack, which is supposedly this nonpartisan tracking site, which shows voting records of all of our congresspeople. Back in 2019, they had shown that Kamala, out of all the senators, was the most liberal. Like, she was to the left of Bernie Sanders. She was the most liberal congressperson ever. Okay. They had a whole write-up about it. And then now it's gone. They've decided to just delete it. So they had in 2019, Kamala Harris's 2019 legislative statistics showing her the most liberal compared to all senators. And then yesterday, they deleted the page.
Why would they scrub that, you guys? Why would they do that?
Yeah, it's a really, really, really good question. They also showed that she was also the least bipartisan. She was engaged in the least bipartisan, never contributed or co-sponsored a bipartisan piece of legislation. That's also, it's gone, except not gone, because of course it's archived on web archives. So people are going to have it forever. It doesn't matter if they try to whitewash it, right? It still happened. And so and we also have a clip of, I think it's Nora O'Donnell. You know, I always mix her up with Savannah Guthrie. I cannot tell them apart.
They're
I don't know
basically
why.
the same person. It's like Rachel Maddow and that Chris kid.
Yes.
They're the same person. Right.
So Nora O'Donnell, and by the way, Kamala's face in this video, she looks like such a dumbass. But Nora O'Donnell, if that's her, is saying, hey, GovTrack said that you're the most liberal senator. I mean, she says it in this interview. You cannot erase this from our history. Look at Kamala's face, by the way.
You're very different in the policies that you've supported in the past. You're considered the most liberal United States senator.
Somebody said that, and it actually was Mike Pence on the debate stage. But
yeah, well, actually, the nonpartisan GovTrack has rated you as the most liberal senator. You supported the Green New Deal. You supported Medicare for all.
Did you see her?
Yeah, she's like, really? Oh my God.
Mike Pence said it. No, it's actually just your record.
Yeah,
Sorry.
it is her record. And the whole Medicare for all, like she wants to get rid of private insurance, you guys. Imagine that. Imagine getting rid of private, like if you like your insurance, you can't keep it.
Sorry.
Isn't that crazy? I mean, she's a complete nut job, but the left is like, but listen, she has lady parts. So we want to go ahead and elect her now, even though she's a complete lunatic and her record sucks across the board. Doesn't matter because she's a Black woman.
Right. And she wants to make history.
This is what they do. It's all identity politics.
Jennifer Rubin, that absolute ridiculous, just comical non-person. Like to me, she's not even real. She's so ridiculous that she can't be a real person. Yes, she's a
caricature of a person. Right.
Yes. So she has now decided to make it her business, yesterday anyway, to go after people who refer to Kamala as Kamala because she doesn't think that that's appropriate. She says her name is Harris or VP Harris. News reports calling her Kamala may not intentionally be disrespectful or demeaning, but that's how she is treating, and it is wrong.
I don't understand.
Well, because everybody calls her by her first name and not VP Harris or Madam VP or
so
whatever.
She thinks that's sexist or something?
Well, she did yesterday. The problem is the day before that and the days before that and before that, she said Kamala. She referred to her as Kamala. The other problem with her being outraged about this is that Kamala's campaign refers to her as Kamala.
This is the thing. Like nobody would know who the hell it is if you said Harris. That's literally been her PR branding. Like from day one, she has branded herself as Kamala because her name is very different.
Very different.
It's very unique.
A lot of people are still mispronouncing it.
Like so many people just want to be offended by something. They just want to be pissed off and offended. They'll pick. This is what we are in the perpetually offended country now. Yeah. Where all these nimrods, they're just like, I have to be offended. Like, what is it today? I got to wake up and I got to be offended by something. It's going to be the fact that she's not called by her last name. Shut up, Jennifer.
You know that even if she wins the election, she'll be President Kamala.
Totally.
She'll never be called President Harris. Like that doesn't even make sense.
Because that's her branding.
And also the conversation about DEI and whether she was a DEI hire continues to rage. And so people were talking about just the history of it. Back in July of 2020, Joe Biden on CNN, it was stated, Joe Biden says he's considering 4 Black women to be his running mate. It didn't say he's considering, women of the following qualifications and backgrounds. It's just said that they're going to be Black. It didn't matter who they were as long as they had the right amount of melanin. So there was that.
Yeah. It's all DEI.
And then after he tapped her, he said on the White House website, whitehouse.gov, he was like, today we're making history. It starts at the top with the vice president making this the most diverse administration in history. On Memorial Day, I proudly stood with a black man, the first black Secretary of Defense. This is all they care about.
I
So
know.
if they're going to push it, they can't get mad when we notice it.
That second paragraph is so stupid. I proudly stood with a black man.
Right?
For you, Joe. Oh
Look
my God.
at
Was that tough for you to stand next to a black man?
Right?
Oh my God. Everybody give him a standing ovation. God, these people are insufferable.
Oh my God.
And they're racist.
Yeah, exactly.
Because they're so fixated on it and they can't see how freaking racist they are. Yeah, they're panderers. My God.
Oh my God. It's just so ridiculous. And speaking of insufferable and ridiculous, Alyssa Milano is crying.
She's not only is she crying, but she's ugly crying, which, is redundant, isn't it, Alyssa?
You see how she has the coconut tree emojis too?
Yeah.
This is their thing.
Yeah.
This is what they're doing.
I thought she was going to go away and then she didn't. She didn't go away.
We do have reason to worry, as we've been trying to say, to make sure that people get out and vote, because vote.org said in a 48-hour period after Biden said he was getting out, it saw a 700% increase in daily new voter registrations, totaling over 38,500 in that period. And the young voters, 18 to 34s, accounted for 83% of those. God. I'm just not feeling particularly confident that those voters were all in for Trump with that timing. You know what I mean?
It's Obama all over again.
Yeah.
And Obama, who's pulling the strings, he knows that because he's done this before. This is like old hat for him, right? He's just like, oh, we can do that. We can engage that young voter base with identity politics because they're stupid. I mean, they are. They buy into this bull crap. They love it.
I mean, Kamala even said they're stupid.
Yeah, totally. I mean, they know it, and they actually cater to this demo.
Mm-hmm. Which, by the way, where was it that we got like hand slapped? Because it was on Instagram, because you posted the video of her saying,
"Oh yeah,
18 to 24-year-olds, they're stupid. They make terrible decisions." And Instagram said that's false because you're missing context.
They fact checked me. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh
and
my
I'm
God.
Like, but it came out of her face.
And that was the context. She was talking about young people.
Right.
What context were we missing?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But again, social media platforms will cover these people.
Mm-hmm.
This is what we've seen it time and time again. We've seen it for the past 15 years. They've been doing this with these people. She really believes that. They know that to be true, because listen, that's how you and I started our whole Chicks on the Right thing because of Obama and all the starry-eyed kids who were like, oh my God, he's the best thing since sliced bread. He's so great. And we were like, but wait, what did he do in the Senate? Like, what? I don't understand. Like, who is this guy? What's going on? Why is everybody so gaga? Why do they think he's a rock star? I don't get it. And that's why we got so politically involved, because we didn't understand why young people were so enamored with this guy. And it was because he was like a pop culture phenomenon. They turned him into this figure, this pop culture figure. And they're trying to do the same thing with Kamala. They're trying. Yeah. And you know what? They're kind of succeeding. Look at the media over the past couple of days. It's remarkable. She went from being a total imbecile loser who was in the polls, like she was polling at what, like 30%?
Yeah. Her approval ratings have been terrible, worse than Joe's.
Right. Just tanking in the polls. And now she's experiencing a surge. And why do you think that is? It's because of the media, because the media and the Democrats are literally in bed together, having sex, smoking cigarettes. That's what they do. Sorry for the visual, but I'm here for you. I'm your Huckleberry. That's what I do.
We do also need to talk about dogs.
Oh my gosh.
Ruff Greens, you guys. This is your ticket to giving your dog the best chance at having their healthiest, longest lives. This is the brainchild of naturopathic Dr. Dennis Black. He's the founder of Ruff Greens. And everybody knows nutrition is not brown. It's not brown kibble colored. It's green and healthy. And this is a green powder that you just sprinkle over your dog's dry kibble to bring it to life. It's got all the things your dog needs, the vitamins and minerals, the antioxidants, the omega oils, the vitamins and minerals, everything your dog needs that they may not be getting from their dead kibble. It's super easy to measure. It's sourced and made right here in the United States. And you can get a free Jumpstart trial bag. That's what it looks like. This free Jumpstart trial bag by just going to ruffchicks.com, RUFF chicks.com, ruffchicks.com. You can get this for free, you guys. So why not try it? Your dog's going to love it. And then you're going to want to order more. And then you're going to be like, my gosh, Mock, thank you so much for telling me to get the free Jumpstart trial bag. And I will say you're welcome because it's going to be amazing. Your dogs will love it for free. Try this trial bag at ruffchicks.com.
My mic is not helping me today. Stop. Why? It's so droopy. That's what she said. Come on.
Kelly Wiseman on Venmo says, I grew up Jehovah's Witness. They have changed their doctrine multiple times because they are a cult, and they change because they need to hold on to people. All the crazy in this country reminds me of that. Being a Christian now, I pray that people wake up and see this. It is a cult. They try to tell us we're in a cult. Come on.
Yeah, exactly. Oh God. Yeah. I think it's just more gaslighting and projection. Everything they do is projection.
Yep. Mama Neen over on Locals says, my 19-year-old daughter registered to vote Friday. She registered Republican and watched the RNC with me and loved it. I love that.
We're pulling more people in with that RNC, but I think it's being balanced by all the young people on the DNC side. So
I've got to be too big to rig.
Yeah.
Jose says, morning, y'all. If you're reading this, then YouTube let me type Kamala Harris is the border czar. Sweet meteor of death. Why do you tarry? CJ8009. Thank you. CJ says, I call her the cackling camel toe. Camel toe. Get it?
Camel toe. Camel toe. Oh, I get it.
Camel-a-toe.
I get it.
Jennifer Alcozer, thank you very much. Jennifer says, I like what Congresswoman Monica De La Cruz called her, Kamala Harris. Translation, how bad Harris.
Interesting.
Love that. Michael Steller, thank you. Michael says, Kamala Harris, the senator who was so liberal she didn't need to pass any legislation to prove it. Now she's aiming for the presidency. I guess she's hoping we all have selective amnesia. Yeah, she is, and the media is. They're all hoping that. And the problem is that they can do it. They can do it because there's so many people that are yet still not paying attention to this race and who will only tune in once we get a couple months out of the general election. And they're not going to see all this, the games that the media is playing.
It drives me crazy that they can't see what her record is. Like, they completely forget about what she hasn't done over the past 3 years. And then all the stuff that she's destroyed. I mean, she's aligned with Joe, right? I mean, she was part and parcel.
She owns his record, just as much as he does.
Exactly. And I just do people just forget about that because they look at the color of her skin and the fact that she's a woman?
The answer is yes.
It's remarkable how stupid people are in this country.
C. Douglas says, red-haired Daisy, sexy lady. I mean, I'm paraphrasing.
You guys, my husband texted me earlier and he's like, oh my God, your hair is red because he's out of town. I'm like, I haven't answered him yet, but he's like, holy crap. What's going on? Yeah.
Kim Donaldson says, waiting on my olive oil, Ruff Greens, Healthy Cell, and Field of Greens. Went on a buying spree. Coat Defense is the greatest. Thank you so much for supporting our sponsors. That means the world. It's the best way that you can help support us. So in time says, I call her Kamila.
She is Kamila. Kamila. Yeah.
An amazing thing happened on Fox and Friends yesterday morning. I don't know if you guys noticed it. It was right after the show, and I was riveted to what was happening on Twitter. Brian Kilmeade was talking about Kamala skipping out on Netanyahu's speech in favor of visiting here in Indianapolis the black sorority. So she was here to speak to the sorority. Brian Kilmeade was talking about that. And here is what he said.
Not show up for the Prime Minister's joint session of Congress today. She'd rather address in the summer a sorority, a college sorority, like she can't get out of that. So that's her decision. And that's her decision to back up the protesters.
Yeah. Zeta Phi
People
Beta, in case anybody
lost
cares.
their minds.
As they should.
Jamie Harrison said a colored sorority in 2024 on national TV. This clown thought it was correct and appropriate to use that term to describe a distinguished and historic African-American sorority. But what's even worse, a black man, he's talking about Lawrence Jones, sat a few feet away on that couch and didn't correct him. He was as quiet as a church mouse. Folks, be prepared for the racism and misogyny, but let's put them on notice. America is now unburdened and we ain't going back. And that did not sit well with Lawrence Jones, who was there and who did not push back for a very simple reason. He didn't say it. He said, I'm the black man. You're so damn dishonest. He said college, but that's all you have. You know, the bullshit that you advocate for only brings death, poverty, and destruction to our communities. You are welcome on the show anytime to debate it. Me and you.
Get him, Lawrence.
And then someone went so far as to slow down the video so that you can really hear exactly what Brian said.
I was going to say, he didn't say that.
No, of course he didn't.
In the summer, a sorority, a college sorority.
Right.
Like she can't.
I mean, like, to me, it's as clear as day.
Oh my God, I heard college too. That's what I heard.
Right.
Give
And
me a
so
break.
Janice Dean, who was in the studio at the time, said, yes, he said college. I was there. Sounds like you really wanted him to say the other thing, though, which is pretty awful.
Exactly.
And she's absolutely right. And then do you remember the chick who's married to the guy that starred in This Is Us that I've had like a long-standing Twitter battle with?
What's her name again?
I don't know how to pronounce her last name, but it's Ryan
Bathy or whatever.
Bathy
or yeah.
I haven't heard from her in forever. And of course, she chimed in on this to say, and this will not come as a surprise to anybody, I heard colored loud and clear. And so I responded to her and I was like, of course you did. Of course you did. And she wrote back and she said, and why is what you heard the truth? Why are you more trustworthy on this? And I said, it has now been slowed down, analyzed, and confirmed by the actual people there that he said college. Good Lord. And yes, I am more trustworthy because I don't look at every effing thing with race-colored glasses like you do. Doesn't it ever get exhausting to constantly victimize yourself?
Exactly. Spot on. It's so true.
She responded and she was like, you just don't care about me as a human or something like that. And I was
she did that.
like,
so she did that. Did she do that publicly or did she do that in DMs?
Yeah. No, she did it publicly.
She did it publicly. You don't care about me as a human?
You don't have humanity or I was just done. I was like, this is the dumbest. Brian Kilmeade said college. He said college. Everybody that was there with him heard him say college.
We all heard it.
This is a fake story.
Of course it's a fake story. It's like, stop being Jussie Smollett.
Right. Yes,
Seriously,
exactly right.
Just stop it. Everybody stop. I'm so tired of this garbage. Seriously. Enough already.
Yeah, I can't with her. I cannot. And we've had email conversations in the past. We've tried to get along. And it's clearly, I mean, when you are that focused on race and when it's all you can see all the time and you don't give someone the benefit of the doubt, even though their entire team says you're hearing
he said
wrong.
College. He absolutely said college. That's what he said. And listen, she continued to try to victimize herself because that's what she is. And that's what she's always going to be. And I feel sorry for her. That sucks for her. It sucks.
It has to be exhausting.
It has to be exhausting. It has to be miserable. Sucks for her. She lives in the greatest country on the planet still. And look at her, like the job that she has, the life she has. She lives a life of absolute privilege. Seriously. She's married to like a Hollywood actor who makes gajillions of dollars. Doesn't she?
She's also an actress. Yeah.
Yeah. And I didn't know she was an actress. I don't really know her in anything, but okay. So
she's not as big time as he is. But
all right.
Yeah.
So she's an actress. She has a wonderful job, a great career, I assume. And she does what she wants to do with her life. And she still is like, I'm victimized. How are you victimized? Life is great for you. Like, seriously, I just don't understand it. Why do they want to be victimized so badly? I don't get it.
I don't get it either.
Like, maybe be grateful. Maybe be grateful and gracious and be thankful to God that you live in this wonderful country. Try that sometime.
That is obviously too much to ask. I love the people that are calling my tweet back to her a mock drop.
I like that too. It's good.
That's some of my favorite.
Really good.
Shelley, thank you. Shelley Eppington says, just as in war before a ceasefire goes into effect, the enemy will do as much as they can to grab land. Watch how many executive orders Biden signs between now and January. Oh my God, it's going to be ugly.
That's going to be really ugly, you guys.
Michael Steller says, before we go on our walk, Finnegan wanted to share how much he loves the chicks. Aw, hi,
Finnegan. Oh, no, it's Finnegan. Hi, Finn.
Michelle Boyd says, good morning, chicks. It's my 60th birthday today, and there is
Happy
no better way to
60th.
start it than with Bone Frog and the chicks. Thank you so much.
60 is the new 40.
Yep. Happy birthday.
Mhm.
Ashley Smith says, my daughter turns 18 on November 3rd. She will be able to vote. That is awesome. Make sure she's doing the right thing. And Erin Powers, thank you. She says, not to be all doom and gloom, but for the first time in my life, I feel truly scared of what will happen to our country if we lose. I'm afraid we're past the point of no return. Also, Daisy, your new hair is fire.
Thank you. Very sweet.
Okay, but don't lose hope. This is when you get angry and you get even more engaged.
Yes.
And this is when you go volunteer to be a poll watcher. You
Yeah.
drag friends with you that you know will be good poll watchers. Do all the things. Get
Run
out
for
there and
precinct chair.
Run for precinct chair. Do all the
Mhm.
things.
Yep.
A box of frocks on Locals said, sent a tip saying, just because you're great. That's so nice. Thank you very much for that.
Very sweet.
And the Brian Brumley says, if I want there's a bad moon on the rise to sound like there's a bathroom on the right, then I'll hear it. Yeah, I mean, that's exactly right. People want to hear what they want to hear, and they just don't care what the guy
Eddie, are you
actually
walking?
said.
Are you walking, Eddie? That's exactly what it is. That's what it is.
Right.
Okay. So stupid.
Okay, we got to get through some really gross stuff, but it has to be pointed out because this is the choice we are all facing. We are facing a choice of the people that say the Pledge of Allegiance with reverence, and the people that rip down the American flag and replace it with a Palestinian one. That's our choice.
No, barbarism and normalcy.
Or civility. Yeah, I mean, what happened yesterday in advance of, during, and after Netanyahu's speech on the Capitol, at the Capitol, was disgusting. And it started even the night before with this ridiculousness. The DC Palestinian Youth Movement released maggots and crickets throughout the Watergate Hotel where he was staying. They pulled a whole bunch of fire alarms throughout the night. And where again was the Secret Service or whoever was responsible for protecting him and other dignitaries that were staying at this hotel? Where were they? How did this happen?
Yeah, exactly. And you think that they would be on total alert now,
right?
2 weeks after. Yeah, you would think. Yeah, it's an utter disgrace.
I could not believe it.
Yeah,
and
where's our president and our vice president? Most importantly, where are they? Not jack squat was said about this yesterday by either one of them. My blood was boiling over this yesterday. Not a word.
Yeah.
I mean, Joe Biden said nothing about it. It's crazy.
It's disgusting. And this was like one of their announcements about it. Palestine protesters manufactured chaos at the Watergate Hotel last night so that Netanyahu, Mossad agents, and the Secret Service had no peace as they continue to terrorize our people. Mealworms and maggots, not talking about Netanyahu, were left on their banquet tables, and crickets were released on multiple floors. Fire alarms were triggered for over 30 minutes on multiple floors to ensure that there would be no rest before Netanyahu and Congress disgraced themselves in front of the world for failing to achieve their military and political objectives. May their dreams be haunted by the death of our people and decay of their society. There will be no peace. There will be no rest. Just vile, vile people.
They're just freaking disgusting. So disgusting.
Oh my God.
Mm-hmm.
And then they also decided to dye the Capitol fountain red, which just irritates the maintenance crews. It doesn't do anything. You know what I mean? It has no impact. It's just,
and how?
So awful.
How do you get to the point where you are able to even do this? This is what I don't understand. I mean, it's the U.S. Capitol fountain. I don't get it. How did they even get to the point where they were able to do this?
Right?
Where's security there? I don't get it.
I know. And there's never consequences. So you'll see. We've got a lot of clips of how horrible they were. This is I think outside the hotel where a lot of the dignitaries were staying, they were literally saying that they're going to kill all the Jews.
Allahu Akbar. We're going to kill all of you.
Killing an animal.
We're going to kill all of you. All of you.
And then this speaks volumes, doesn't it?
Right. It totally does, doesn't it?
Gosh.
It's unreal. Yeah, look at her. God, it's just so maddening.
And I hope AG is right when he says that the fact that she didn't show, that Biden didn't show, is a real risk for Democrats. And all of the Democrats who didn't show, there was like 200 of them. Not only is a portion of their caucus boycotting a speech from the leader of a major ally at war, but increasing the perception that parts of their base side with terrorists, holding Americans hostages, and the supporters violently protesting in our streets. I mean, I hope that people see that. And
it's not just parts of their base. It's a lot of their base.
Right.
It's a lot of Democrats who side with terrorists. And I hope people know that.
Democrats own those people.
Oh, yeah. And if you align with that crap, congratulations. Have fun with that. I want no part of you. I want no part of that party. And I hope people understand that. It's kind of like my friend yesterday, the doctor who was like, I don't know, we're starting to lean right. Well, if you lean left, you're siding with terrorists. You're siding with people who are hanging out and want to be part and parcel to terrorists and terrorism. Yep. And they're all about that. So make a choice. What side do you want to be on?
Wanda on Venmo said, what does the C in the NAACP stand for? Asking for a friend. I've always loved that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like they get so bent out of shape when you use that term, except that it's part of that acronym.
Right.
Like it's
It
literally
totally
part
is.
of that title.
Mm-hmm.
I will never understand that. Marilyn Ayer also said, all this chaos at the Capitol is fine, but January 6th is bad, right? Like it doesn't make any sense. They
don't make any sense. They're constantly contradicting themselves. Rules for me, rules for thee and not for me.
Mm-hmm. GG Mo 27, thank you for the tip. He says, thank you for speaking the truth. Thank you very much for that. Appreciate it. Tear gas. It got so bad. The protesters were getting so violent before his speech that the police ended up having to use tear gas. And here is what that looked like, a little bit of it. This is just to get them back behind where they're supposed to be, right?
There's so many.
Down.
So many of them, you guys.
Oh my God, the crowd was enormous.
Mm-hmm.
So disappointingly enormous.
Right.
And then they yelled shame at the cops.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
Psychopaths, all of them. And this is how big the crowd was. I mean, just enormous.
Yeah, that woman's carrying a sign that says "Woman, Life, Freedom." So to that woman that had her head cut off, what about her freedom? Does she have a lot of freedom, lady?
And then these people that are wearing the Hamas or carrying the Hamas flags. Griff Jenkins asked her if she supports Hamas, and she said that she supports the resistance.
Mm-hmm.
And then look at how openly they're saying what they believe. Allah is gathering all the Zionists for the final solution.
Yeah.
What the hell is happening?
This know.
Is our country.
Yeah, this is our country, and these asshats on the left support this.
God,
listen. They're coming for you too, you morons.
Right?
This is what they don't understand, especially the college kids, but even older people who are Democrats who are like, this is fine. It's just like free Palestine. They're coming for you too. I mean, how do you get it through into these people's heads that they're part of this?
And they're all cowards with their stupid face masks. They're all freaking cowards.
Yeah, they are cowards. Yeah. And the women who wear them as mini skirts. Good luck with that when you go to Palestine.
Right. Griff Jenkins talked to one of these psychopaths, and here is what they sound like when they're being interviewed. It's not good.
We get that up?
I will, John, but are you saying you would support Hamas?
Are you saying you support genocide?
Oh my God.
What does Hamas have to do with 20,000 babies and children
Everything.
massacred and butchered?
Oh my God.
What do you say about the hostages that have been held in captivity? On October 7th, most of those people were killed by Israeli forces using the Hannibal Directive. Hello, wake up!
All
right, so that's obviously not been proven to be the case, but the protesters are getting very passionate out here.
Griff.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
He has so much patience, Griff.
Oh
He's
my
just
God.
like, you are batshit crazy. I'm going to move along. Oh my God.
This made me a little happier, just having to, watching all these clowns get tear gassed and then run to get help and get water in their eyes. I just enjoyed the pain. They can all suck it.
Yeah, they can suck it.
Does it hurt? Good.
Yeah, tear gas is the least of it, sweetheart. I mean, it really is. They're affected by tear gas. Think of what happened to those people on October 7th.
And what's still happening to the hostages.
You're damn
Five
straight.
more who were killed, by the way. There were 5 more bodies.
Unreal.
And then this just, oh my God, when they start taking down our flag, these are citizens of our country, ostensibly, taking down our flag and then replacing it with a Palestinian flag.
Not okay.
Oh my God.
Oh my God. This is just, it enrages me. GTFO. Ugh! Get out of my country. But listen, we're a threat to democracy.
Right?
We're the threat.
And then this is a video of the buses bringing in all these people from God knows where, probably Portland and all the other Antifa.
Totally. It's Soros and his, and his commie kid. Yep.
This actually, I think, took place after the speech, but they actually burned an American flag and started screaming, "Burn that shit."
Burn that shit! 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 Burn that shit!
While playing Disco Inferno.
Burn that shit! 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 Burn that shit!
Just so vile.
I'm sure the members of Tavares are like not very happy about that. I'd be like, can you just like not play my music while you're doing that?
These are American kids. What the hell is happening?
Yeah. Yeah. They're just spoiled, probably spoiled rich brats.
Oh my God.
You know, just send them over there. Send them.
I would love
GTFO,
that.
get out of my country. Send them all to Palestine. All of these rich little bratty kids, entitled little brats.
There was one hero, and it apparently was just a lawyer from in the local area that saw what was happening and felt a calling to try to do something.
God bless him.
And they chased him down.
God bless him. Get him. God. They're animals. These people are freaking animals.
Mm-hmm.
God bless that guy.
He got a piece of it. Try to take the American flag that was burning.
So there, obviously nobody wants to out him, but this is the guy. It was a lawyer who works nearby, and he said he saw the flag burning and just had to do something.
God bless him.
Right?
It just breaks my heart. All of it breaks my heart.
It does. And then to see the aftermath, it's even more heartbreaking when you think about, like, this is the capital of our country, and look what they've done to it.
And our president and our vice president say nothing. Nothing. And they, you know what? I take that as they side with these people, you guys.
Of course they do.
They side with these people. They're okay with this.
Mm-hmm.
They side with terrorists. Democrats are on the side of terrorists.
And there's really no getting around it. Like, they stuck their claim by not going to see Netanyahu. They made their side very well known. They side with these assholes.
I can only
and
imagine
that's why this is your choice.
Absolutely, it's a choice. It is a very distinct choice. I can only imagine what Trump would have done if he were in office.
Oh my
He would
gosh.
have put a stop to that shit.
Oh, he would have been
quick.
calling in the guard and saying, "Get these people out of the country."
Yeah, they're done.
Oh my God. It's just so maddening. All right. So let's get to some better news because that was horrible, obviously. But there were some really, really great moments from Bibi's, speech, obviously, but then the lead up to it. So for example, one of the guests that Bibi personally invited was Elon Musk. And I love Elon's just direct questions or direct answers to the questions.
I am.
You plan to attend?
I do.
And whose guest are you?
Netanyahu.
Netanyahu's. I love it.
I love that.
Mm-hmm.
I love that. Mm-hmm. And even John Fetterman decided to step up his dress code for the occasion.
I have to say I'm impressed.
Right?
It's crazy that I'm impressed by that. I mean, he should just be doing that like normally, but in this particular case of Carhartt Man, I'm a little impressed.
I mean, it says something, right? It says something.
It does.
Joni Driscoll says Russian jets in our airspace before the speech. Yeah, they were intercepted. The Russian jets off of, I think, near Alaska, I think. Yeah, that was a thing that happened yesterday too. Osuki says
yesterday was just a little bit of a news day.
Oh my God.
Just a little bit, you guys.
Which is why, reminder, today is going to be a long show. Osuki says in World War II, Japan attacked us. We dropped the bomb and 90 to 210,000 Japanese died. In Germany, we helped bomb Dresden and decimated the city. No one called us genocidal. Israel is doing what we did, defending itself.
Totally.
Yep.
Without question.
Minnesota Solar Baby says, why isn't our police force protecting our flag? There are laws against it. I know, but then there's also First Amendment, which is what they'll use to say it's completely fine to burn the flag.
Yeah, but defacing our monuments like that. Not okay. Not okay. And I don't understand why nothing was done about that. And I don't understand why our president and vice president haven't said anything.
God. Reba Henry says, I live here in the DC metro area. It was awful to watch this. They had to close the doors of Union Station so commuters couldn't get to and from work. Just ridiculous.
It is. They're animals.
John Baldwin says, why did Netanyahu give kudos to Biden? I don't know that he did. Did he? He was probably just trying to be a statesman, which he is.
Just diplomatic.
Leah says attacking the hotel, defacing monuments, riding on the Capitol, taking down our flag and replacing it with Hamas is not an insurrection, right?
Exactly. I know.
CJ8009 says, as a veteran, seeing them take our flag down makes me furious, especially at the Capitol. So pissed. Why didn't they call the National Guard? Because Biden wasn't there to do it. That's why.
And Biden
should be pissed.
Is a giant wussy.
Mm-hmm.
And so is Kamala. And
Aaron Powers says, I just signed up to be a poll worker here in Ohio. Thanks, chicks.
Good for you.
Love it.
Mm-hmm. And listen, other countries are watching this.
Yeah.
They're watching what's happening in our country and they're like, nobody's in control, which really freaks me out.
It should. And it's probably sending a big, strong message to China that now is a really great time to go after Taiwan because nobody is leading.
Right.
Nobody is leading. Mm-hmm. It's ridiculous. Nina Wassel says, spoiled brats like Kamala's stepdaughter. Unbelievable.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so let's get to some good stuff, some good news. The entrance that Bibi had, the introduction as he was walking onto the floor, it was extraordinary. It was probably near 4 minutes. So I have taken a big bunch of that 4 minutes and sped it up times 5. But I wanted to play it only because it was remarkable. Like, it was remarkable to see the love and the support of the people that decided to show up, not the Democrats who boycotted it for reasons I cannot fathom.
Yeah.
But the walk in and then Mike Johnson, is it Mike Johnson? Yeah. Speaker Mike Johnson. Why am I like, why am I brain fading on his name? It's Mike Johnson, right?
Mike Johnson. Yes.
Oh my God. When he introduces him, there was even more just thunderous applause. And so you're going to hear it get really squeaky when it's sped up, but I wanted everybody to see him and the reception that he got as he walked onto the floor. And like already probably 30 seconds has gone by. I mean, it goes on and on and on.
Yep. Yeah, no Harris or Biden.
Members of Congress, I now have the high privilege and distinct honor of presenting to you His Excellency Benjamin Netanyahu, Prime Minister of Israel.
And then there was Noah. So one of the most recognizable faces from October 7th, that girl that was stolen away on a motorbike, screaming for her boyfriend, who obviously was killed. She was there. She was there. And actually, Elon was right behind her. And Douglas Murray was sitting with Elon Musk. And so Bibi recognized her and told a little bit of her story. And it was just really a great moment.
God, can you imagine?
On the morning of October 7th, the entire world saw Noah's look of desperation as she was violently abducted to Gaza on the back of a motorcycle. I met Noah's mother, Leora, a few months ago. She was dying of cancer. She said to me, "Prime Minister, I have one final wish. I wish to hug my daughter Noah one last time before I die." 2 months ago, I authorized a breathtaking commando rescue operation. Our special forces, including a heroic officer named Arnonz Mora, who fell in this battle, rescued Noah and 3 other hostages. Noah, I think it's one of the most moving things. When Noah was reunited with her mother, Leora, and her mother's last wish came true. Noah, we're so thrilled to have you with us today. Thank you. Our world.
So great.
Oh my God.
And then, as you mentioned, we have a choice, and Bibi outlined that choice very, very well.
The world is in upheaval. In the Middle East, Iran's axis of terror confronts America, Israel, and our Arab friends. This is not a clash of civilizations. It's a clash between barbarism and civilization.
Yep. Damn right.
Mm-hmm.
That's right. And they're coming for you.
Yeah, all you protesters are included.
Yep.
You're not safe.
You're not exempt. You're not exempt. I mean, little college kid at your little Ivy League university or your state school. You think you're exempt. You're not. They're coming for you too. They don't care if you're liberal. They don't care if you're like protesting. They don't care if you're wearing their little scarf as a mini skirt. They're coming for you, especially you with the mini skirt. They're coming for you.
You're not supposed to show your skin. What are you doing?
Yeah, exactly. They want Sharia law in this country. That's the end game. That's their long game. And they will take as long as it takes to get that long game. You don't think that's the case? You're an idiot.
And you just need to listen to them. They're very clear about it. They're not hiding it.
Absolutely. Mm-hmm.
Bibi also talked about how important it is for America and Israel to stand up and stand strong together.
Of civilization to triumph, America and Israel must stand together. Because when we stand together, something very simple happens. We win, they lose. And my friends, I came to assure you today of one thing. We will win.
Yeah, I don't want to be like the UK. They've already
no, thank you.
They've already started to take over the UK. I don't want to be like that. Mm-hmm. And for some reason, liberals want that. Well, then go live there.
Right? I mean, if you hate the country so much that you're going to rip down our flag in favor of another country, go to the other country.
Go there. Yeah. GTFO.
My God. Bibi also recognized and pointed out how grateful he was that Trump is okay after the assassination attempt, and then thanked him for all the work that he did on behalf of Israel.
Like Americans, Israelis were relieved that President Trump emerged safe and sound from that dastardly attack on him, dastardly attack on American democracy. There is no room for political violence in democracies.
Wait, did I get to the Trump part? No, that's
I
right
also
here.
want to thank President Trump for all the things he did for Israel, from recognizing Israel's sovereignty over the Golan Heights, to confronting Iran's aggression, to recognizing Jerusalem as our capital and moving the American embassy there.
Yeah. That's why Iran wants
what's
dead.
Joe done?
Joe's done jack squat.
That's Jerusalem, our eternal capital, never to be divided again.
And the Holy Land. Yeah.
And then there was the best part where he called out the protesters for being the morons that they are. This was glorious.
For all we know, Iran is funding the anti-Israel protests that are going on right now outside this building. Not that many, but they're there, and throughout the city. Well, I have a message for these protesters. When the tyrants of Tehran, who hang gays from cranes and murder women for not covering their hair, are praising, promoting, and funding you, you have officially become Iran's useful idiots.
Yep.
Some of these protesters, it's amazing, absolutely amazing. Some of these protesters hold up signs proclaiming gays for Gaza. They might as well hold up signs saying chickens for KFC. These protesters chant from the river to the sea, but many don't have a clue what river and what sea they're talking about.
So true.
They not only get an F in geography, they get an F in history. They call Israel a colonialist state. Don't they know that the land of Israel is where Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob prayed, where Isaiah and Jeremiah preached, and where David and Solomon ruled?
Yeah.
What
I
a
mean,
statement.
those kids they're terrorist bitches is what they are. And they just don't get it. They don't. Because
They're
they don't
absolutely clueless.
They don't know history. He's so right. He was so right on. And yeah,
so many of them are just there because somebody's paying them. You know what I mean? They don't even know why they're protesting. They're just given the sign and they just march because they're getting $30 an hour to do it.
They're like, I just need beer money.
Oh my God. Rashida Tlaib decided to attend. And she wanted to. Oh, whoops. I guess I forgot a little bit more of what he was saying.
The land of Israel has been the homeland of the Jewish people. It's always been our home. It will always be our home.
Preach.
She showed up to hold up a sign at him the entire time. One side that said war criminal and the other side that said guilty of genocide.
She's such a hag.
Oh my God.
Nice scarf. Yeah. She's just, God, she is just such a, how is this woman a representative of anybody in the United States? It's beyond me. She's horrific.
Horrific.
What does she say? What does she say about the hostages? Does she have anything to say about the hostages? Nothing. Doesn't give a shit, right? Doesn't give a shit about actual American citizens. Doesn't care. God, what a beast. An absolute sea hag this woman is.
After the speech was over, I got a text from my mom. And this is what she said.
What did she say? I love your mom. And she's so, you guys, that is even like a tastier comment from her mother if you know her, because she's so proper. Her mama is so sweet and Polish and proper. I love that she wrote that
so much. I know. I just
greatest
absolutely
text
loved it.
ever. Oh my God.
Nancy Pelosi was one of the people that boycotted, refused to go, and then had the audacity to criticize the speech right afterwards, saying that the presentation was by far the worst of any foreign dignitary invited and honored with the privilege of addressing Congress. And then she said she spent time listening to Israeli citizens whose families have suffered. It was such a nonsense thing for her to say.
Why is
and
it? Why?
I was mad.
Atta girl. Seriously, though.
She didn't see it. She didn't hear it. You don't get to say anything about it.
It's the worst. Why would it? What's so bad about? What was so bad about it? Explain yourself, Nancy.
She can't because she didn't hear it.
Put your drink down. I know you're at the bar. Put your drink down and explain to us why it was so bad, Nance. Okay?
Yeah. Yeah,
Put
go
your
back to
teeth in.
kneeling with that ridiculous scarf that you wore after George Floyd, you moron.
Exactly. You freak. Put your teeth in, get away from the bar, step away from the brandy, and tell us why it was, because she doesn't explain herself. She's just like, it was the worst I've ever seen. It was really bad. It was really bad.
You guys have all seen those how it started, how it's going memes.
Yes.
Right? Well, Senator Chris Murphy had his moment yesterday, and it was absolutely hilarious. So before the speech and before the protests, he said, or right after the speech, but before he knew about the protests, he said the speech was more a commentary of U.S. politics rather than a path forward for Israel and U.S. security. The suggestion that any American who objects to the humanitarian catastrophe in Gaza is a Hamas sympathizer was way out of bounds.
No, it's not.
That was followed very quickly by how it's going now, which was to say, I've seen some disturbing images coming out of today's protest of the Capitol. I'll always support Americans exercising their First Amendment rights, but pro-Hamas fears and messages of hate and anti-Semitism have no place in our country, period.
Yeah. How's that going for you, Chris? How's that going for you? Eating crow? Is it good? You lapping it up? God.
Oh my God.
It's just insufferable. They're all just keep your mouth shut. Maybe just keep your mouth shut for a while, and then maybe you'll see. They're terrorists. They're terrorists and terrorist sympathizers is what they are, Chris.
And unfortunately, even though there were a ton of arrests because the protest was out of control, within just a few hours, those protesters were released into the welcoming arms of their fellow protesters.
Oh my God, yay. We get to go back to Harvard and Yale. Yay. So
and
great.
then freaking Politico, their headline about the protest was to say Republicans pounce after Netanyahu protesters burn flags and wave Hamas ones instead.
Yeah, okay.
Republicans pounce was the lead, not about the hatred, not about the graffiti, not about the violence, the damage. It's just that we're noticing.
I'm okay with that headline. I'm okay with it. I'm good. I'm good with pouncing. Because listen,
but that's the priority. That's the part of the headline that matters.
Politico's trash. I mean, they're absolute garbage. They're garbage publication. But I'm okay with being labeled as the one who's pouncing on the fact that they're burning our flag and they're a bunch of terrorists. If I'm the one labeled as the pouncer and the Democrats are complete losers who are doing nothing, I own it. You guys own it? I'll be a pouncer. Go ahead and label me as a pouncer. I pounce, you guys.
Hashtag pouncers.
Hashtag I'm the pouncer.
Hashtag pouncer pride.
What? I mean, seriously, like what side you want to be on? The side of the people that pounce on when they see people out there burning our flags and being freaking terrorists in the streets? Or do you want to be the person that's just sitting there going, I'm sorry, I need a soy latte. I can't. Or maybe I'll join them and wear the scarf as a mini skirt. I'll pounce. Thanks.
We'll have a pouncer party.
We'll totally have a pounce. We're pouncer partiers. That's what we're gonna do.
We are the party of pounce.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God. Dave Hendon says, I loved it when Netanyahu said the protesters have become Iran's useful idiots. Yes. See, you sent that before I played it, didn't you? Because you thought you just wanted to say it before I played it. That's how you guys are sometimes.
You guys
get so excited.
Just a little side note. That drives her crazy.
It drives me absolutely.
It drives her completely insane when you guys are like, "Are you going to get to? Are you going to get to? Are you going to
do it? Are you going to say this? You're going to say this?"
We're gonna get to it. I promise. We're gonna have a 3-hour show and we're gonna get to it.
Oh my gosh. M&D service. I think I'm saying that right. That was an act of war. They are traitors, and the First Amendment does not apply for them. Broken arrow. I mean, listen, I feel the rage. I totally feel it. And I'm right there with you.
Yep.
B. Trammell said they can buy and burn their own fucking flag. That was ours and they stole it and destroyed our property. Arrest those MFers. YouTube censored me.
I am right there with you. All the words. All of them.
If that's true, if that flag that they burned was the property of the Capitol, then yeah, all bets are off. They need to be thrown in jail.
Yeah, but none of them will. And then we have J6ers that are in there rotting. And none of them will be arrested. None of these people will. And seriously, tell me how this wasn't worse than Charlottesville.
Oh my God, it was a million times worse.
Somebody explain that.
Times worse.
Right. And again, Biden and Kamala were not there.
And they've said nothing.
They said nothing.
Yep. Let's see. Osuki says the Naked Communist outlines the 45 goals of communism. It's amazing how it's playing out in front of us. Indeed. Jose Luis says Trump messaging. Number one, don't say DEI. Black focus groups find it offensive, even those that dislike her. We need their votes. And number two, pray Biden stays in office. Kamala would be too dangerous to lead. I don't know that Trump is going to listen to that. I just don't think he's going to change, you guys. I think he's going to be who he is, which is great for his base, not so great for the people that we need to add to the base. But yeah, we'll get to his rally in just a little bit. Thank you, Betsy Rutledge, for the super sticker. And thank you, Stuart the Brit, who says, when even the Germans raided and closed 51 mosques and Islamic centers yesterday. Ooh, even the Germans are waking up. What a shock. Wow. 51. That's impressive. Good for Germany.
Yeah. I mean,
that's great.
I guess better late than never.
Yeah. All right. So moving on, because Bibi is a statesman. We agree on that, I think. And his speech was amazing. And I think we agree on that as well. There's a lot more stuff that happened. We're already an hour and 15 minutes into the show, and we haven't even barely scratched the surface of our own politics and our own election hullabaloo. KJP, after her, premiere on The View the other day, after not having a presser for several days, she finally had a presser, and she is continuing to gaslight like you would not believe. First of all, there was a reporter that was not Peter Doocy asking her, hey, how come if he's getting out, like he's still fit for staying in office? What's that all about?
The president believes that it's best for the country that he not be in the Oval Office for another 4 years. How can you assure the American people that he's up to be in the office for the next 6 months?
Well, first I would say is that, and I've heard these suggestions out there. This is not an answer to you. This is an answer to the suggestions that I've had. I've heard about him resigning from office. We believe, and any suggestion of that note is ridiculous. It is not what we believe. The president, I just laid out what the president has been able to do in almost 4 years, and it's been successful. He's been able to do more. Again,
oh my God.
Than any president has been able to do in 2 terms. He's been able to do that more in 1 term.
Really?
And he wants to finish the job that he started and delivering more historic results for the American people. And look, he didn't step down from campaigning or from running because he didn't believe he can serve in a 2nd term. That is not why.
So you're saying he believes that he's capable of serving another 4 years, but he just doesn't believe that he can win another 4 years?
I will let the president speak for himself.
And so today, the president believes that he is fully capable of serving in the office that he currently has now and for the next 4.5 years if he wanted to.
Absolutely. And let me just quote from what he said on Sunday in his letter. He said, "It is in the best interest of my party and the country for me to stand down and to focus solely on fulfilling my duties as president for the remainder of my term."
Okay, I'm totally confused by that whole statement, which is not shocking because it's her. But so she said he didn't step down because he couldn't win. He didn't step down because he's incapable of serving for the next 4 years.
Right.
So why the F did he step down?
He did it for unity.
Yeah. If he wanted to listen, if he actually was a patriot and he was doing it for unity and for the country and for us, you guys, because he's so selfless, he would have done it during the primary. He would have done it. He would have done it before. He would have done it.
He would have done it 10 days ago when he was
Right.
screaming about how he's staying in.
Full of crap. All these people are liars.
Such liars.
It was a coup. They forced him out. It was a coup. We all know it, lady.
And they probably gave him a smoking deal.
Mhm.
But they
And
forced him out, and everybody with a half a brain cell knows it.
Right. And all of his family was boo-hooing about it. Did you see his family? They're all like, oh God, we have to leave. We have to leave now. What are we going to do? My God, the gravy
Well,
train
Joy Reid said that reaction from the family showed how close and how amazing that family is in comparison to the fake and cold reception that Donald Trump gave his kids. And I'm like, do you have this? How do we both have human eyeballs and see such different things?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it's crazy to me.
It was, this is the same family that made him do all the things for the past several years, even though he has
him.
They hate him, even though he has full on dementia and they suck the system. Yeah. The same family where listen, dude showered with his daughter. Y'all, let's get real.
I mean, she said it, not us.
I'm just, she said it. I didn't put it in the diary. Did you guys do? You didn't put it in the diary. Just saying.
There was an exchange with Peter Doocy right out of the gate. She was like, hey, how are you? I haven't seen you in a while. And so here was his response.
Okay, thank you.
I haven't seen you in a while.
Well, you guys haven't had a press briefing since President Biden dropped out of the race.
Yep. I mean, she totally lobbed that up for him.
I know. It was perfect.
She's like, here you go. And he's like, and smash it.
Well, and she got mad at him because he said, you guys are engaged in a big fat cover up. And like pretty much everybody is saying it. So what do you have to say for yourself? And she was like,
So it would seem that people in this White House knew that President Biden was slipping. And it was hidden from the American people. So who ordered White House officials to cover up a declining president?
I know that is a narrative that you love, and
No,
wait,
10 days,
hold on.
he did
You're
a
a
press
liar.
conference with NATO. I'm in it. There's all these things that I need to finish. And then 10 days later, I'm dropping out.
Okay, wait, okay, you're asking me like multiple questions here. Let me, wait. First of all, there's been no cover up.
Oh my
be very
God.
clear about that. I know that's the narrative that you all want. Wait, no, you can't. Okay.
I've been with President Biden for 5
Are
years.
you going to let me answer the question?
Would you at least admit that the
You don't ever answer that.
Wait, can I answer the question?
Yes.
All right. Are you sure?
Yes.
Okay. To your first question, it is not a cover-up. I know that is the narrative that you all want.
I
It
cannot
is not.
stand her. I can't stand her. Somebody needs to ask about the cheat fakes at this point. Ask about that. I would have followed up and I've been like, what about the cheat fakes, lady? Because you and everybody else in the media talked about that for what? We at least had a week of that propaganda. So what's up with that? Remember? You remember that? And see how she answers that question. Of course it's a cover up. And the person that's leading it is Obama. Let's all get real. She is such a liar with her liar pants in Liar Town. Can't with her.
He also asked about, or I think it was him, if she could name any people within his own team that had been the ones to stab him in the back, and she did not like that.
Any names that came forward that surprised you of Democratic officials in the last week who stabbed President Biden in the back?
I don't have anything else to say. Go ahead, April.
She did not like that.
So mad. She's so mad.
She was actually asked too, like, what's the deal with you deciding to go on The View instead of talking to us? And here is the excuse for that.
Messaging to us, to the press corps. It's been 9 days since there's been a briefing. The president obviously published his letter officially on Sunday, withdrawing from the race. Why go on television to make your first comments about that decision rather than make
I
this
appreciate
from the
that. We've always had a protocol here. When the president's not here, we don't do a briefing. That's just the way that we've always it's always happened. The interview that I did yesterday was on the books for about 2-3 weeks. It was way before the president made his decision. That's it.
Yeah. And we just don't care about optics here at the White House. So I just went ahead and did it, even though it was like a monumental decision. And he just did it on X. And he never came out. Everybody thought he was dead. But, I just went ahead and went on The View anyway, because we don't give two shits about optics. Hello. Welcome to the Biden White House. Wow.
That's the excuse, and they're sticking to it, man.
They're
They are
just
sticking to it.
Amateurs, all of them.
There was also a glorious moment when she was asked about Kamala fulfilling her duties as a border czar, and of course we spent a lot of time on that earlier in the show. So they were pressing KJP for her a response about that, and you just listen. Okay.
As a partner, though, she's been in charge of root causes of migration for years. She has never spoken to the Border Patrol Chief, Jason Owens, or the Border Patrol Chief before him, Raul Ortiz. What should that tell us about her leadership style?
She was supposed to be doing root causes, dealing with diplomacy. Diplomacy. That's what her job was supposed to be. Diplomatic. That's the job. And I understand that you're asking these questions, but we should also look at congressional Republicans who got in the way.
Oh my God. Okay, so if her job was diplomacy, then she failed on that too.
She failed. Fail.
Yeah.
On everything. They can change the job description.
Yes.
But it's still a fail.
She failed on every single count. I mean, you can switch it around. You can manipulate it however you want to manipulate it, lady, but she just is a big fat failure. Big fat fail.
Big fat fail. Let's see. We have Dave Hendon, who says the J6ers were held in solitary confinement for months and years without due process, and the anti-Semitism protesters are released in a matter of hours.
Yeah.
Can we say two-tier justice system? Right? Bless you.
Sorry. Thank you.
Ridiculous. You're right, Dave. FFS Jenny O says when Bibi shouted it out the UNC frat boys, it was gold. Sorry, had to step away for a bit. Yeah, that's great. Yeah, the fact that he thanked them was a moment for sure. Wendy Rose says 19 years ago today, insulin saved my 2-year-old's life when she was diagnosed with type 1 diabetes. To be clear, the insulin price crisis exploded on Biden's watch over a 50-year span. No one did more than Trump to fix it. They constantly try to take credit for that. And it's such bullshit because Trump is the one to set that wheel in motion. You're absolutely right.
Yeah.
Teresa, thank you. Teresa says, I think there was so much thunderous applause for Netanyahu because we haven't seen exceptional leadership in 3.5 years. Yeah, that's what it looks like right there.
And now, I know, right? We're also hungry for that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. M&D Service says, yes, M&D Service. Thank you. You two are wonderful. Red, you are a sassy chick. Mock, you're a bulldog like a Mac.
It's so weird. People are going to start calling me Red. I got to get used to that. Thank you.
Shannon Pope says KJP isn't wrong. His results are historically bad for the country. Damn straight.
That's right.
And he decided that he was going to address the nation last night. Just to give you a reminder, though, you're going to see a side-by-side clip, one from 10 days ago, and then a piece of his speech from last night.
What's Joe Biden going to do? Is he going to stay in the race? Is he going to drop out? Here's my answer. I am running, and we're going to win. I'm not going to change that.
You know, in recent weeks, it's become clear to me that I need to unite my party in this critical endeavor. So I've decided the best way forward is to pass the torch to a new generation. That's the best way to unite our nation.
Since when? You just decided that without any pressure? Okay.
Yeah, it was Obama. Obama and a bunch of people pulled him into a room. It was like the cabal pulled him into a smoky room, and they were like, "This is what you're going to do, Joe. You've come as far as you can come." And it's really been disastrous. We've done the best we can, propping you up like Weekend at Bernie's for the past 3.5 years, but your journey is over.
We're putting you out to the pasture now.
Yeah, exactly. You're going to the farm.
You're going to the farm. And I'm not going to play a lot of clips from it because it was just such a useless campaign speech.
It
wasn't even a proper address.
It's 11 minutes of just bull crap. And he never even said why he's leaving.
Yeah, well, he did. He said it's to save democracy and to unify.
But that's not really. That's not.
That's all they're going to give us. They're not going to ever own why he is getting out. They're never going to.
No.
It's one big gaslight. But I will play this one clip, which is when he talks about the border having the lowest number of crossings under his watch.
Our rate is at a 50-year low. We're also securing our border. Border crossings are lower today than when the previous administration left office.
You're so full of crap.
I've kept my commitment to appoint the first black woman to the Supreme Court of the United States of America.
I mean,
race, 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 lie, race.
Wow. That
God,
was
this
a
guy.
lot packed into an 18-second clip.
Yeah,
but-
this is your legacy. You're a big loser. That's your legacy. And you have completely destroyed the United States. Congratulations. Good job, Joe.
Peter Doocy also had some post-speech comments.
And Jesse, this is something we've not heard from President Biden, that the soul of America is still at stake, but he doesn't think he is the best person to repair it, to fix it. But as he lists off all the different things that he thinks he's going to do in the next 6 months, lower costs, grow the economy, call out hate, finish the cancer moonshot, he's going to do all that as a lame duck president, just by definition. That's not an insult. That he is not up for election again. All of his political capital is gone. But White House officials today in the briefing room insisted he is not a lame duck. And they also told us he is not stepping aside for any specific health reason, but they're not going into any other detail. And the president didn't really go into any other detail tonight about what exactly is going on. They also said, and I don't know if we still have the soundbite, that there is not a cover-up, which there has just been a lot of curiosity about why it is that on 7/11, so like 2 weeks ago at NATO, President Biden is explaining all the different reasons that he's staying in the race and why he thinks he's the only person who can keep the country from tearing apart at the seams. And then he gets COVID and suddenly changes his mind. If we have
Exactly.
None of it makes sense, and they know it doesn't make sense.
Exactly.
They know it.
But there are so many people who are lapping it up. That's what it kills me. It kills me how there are so many people out there who just blindly listen to this stuff and they go, yes. I mean, they're the same people that did it during COVID. And I thought that more people would be like, okay, well, they lied to us then. And so they're lying to us now. And I'm not going to. But man, there's always going to be dumb people who buy into this garbage. They still do it. Hook, line, and sinker. They do it. And they're doing it now.
I hope that like Trump is disciplined enough when he does debate Kamala, that he talks about how undemocratically she has been anointed and coronated into this role. That
Totally.
She's never received a single primary vote. And so I hope that he prepares better than he did for this last debate, and that he has those talking points lobbed up and ready to go, because that's what it needs to be about.
Yeah, because she's going to be going up. She's going to be like, you're going to take abortions away.
Right. I mean, she'll be focusing on all of that bullshit.
Totally. She's going to be focusing on that and like calling him a racist and a sexist and a predator and a felon and all the things. And he needs to be like, you didn't earn any of this.
Yeah.
And you're preaching about how you're going to save democracy. I'm the one who's going to save democracy, lady, because y'all didn't do any of this democratically, any of it. And also your record sucks. Let's talk about it.
Dana Perino, God bless her. She really, really, really wanted to like it. Like she hoped that he was going to say something truly momentous. She was left feeling not so great about it.
Really wanted to love this speech. I wanted to be happy for him. I wanted to say, good for you, sir. And I wanted to feel reassured that he has got what it takes to get us through the next 6 months. People really wanted to know what just happened in the last 3 weeks. But this speech was like a mini State of the Union. It was like something he could have given in January of 2025. It rang hollow for me. It did not answer any of those questions. And I do not think that it helps Kamala Harris as she tries to make some sort of a break with him, as she tries to get this nomination and try to beat Donald Trump. It's going to be very difficult for her to do so. He's got 6 months left, and there's a lot of problems in this country. He said he's going to fix all of them. So we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, because I mean, if he hasn't done it in the past 50 years, I'm pretty sure he's not going to do it in the next 6 months.
No.
But okay. I mean, he's
not even going to stay awake. I mean, he's barely going to do anything.
God bless Dana, but I wasn't expecting anything from that. I don't know. I'm sorry that she was expecting something, but yeah.
Clay Travis was not quite as sunny and like optimistic about what he was hoping for.
Great word. Yeah.
27 days ago, and it feels like it's been 270 days since then,
Donald Trump knocked Joe Biden out in a debate for the first time in American political history. For 27 days, Joe Biden tried to get back up off the canvas and convince people that he hadn't actually been knocked out, and he was never able to do it. And so this is the end of that era, that 27 days as he fought and scrambled to try to get back up. You know, though, what he said? I jotted down a couple of things. He said he had to drop out to save our democracy. Save our democracy by putting a woman who has never received a single vote for president of the United States in after 14 million people voted for him. If he really wanted democracy to triumph, he should have done what all of us said back in the summer of 2023. He should have said, I don't have the physical or mental ability to run. Let's have an open primary and let the Democrats pick somebody.
Right. It was a coup.
I just don't know how you call it anything else.
No. Well, I mean, they will, but they're liars. They're liars and they're cheaters.
Stuart the Brit says Churchill addressed Congress, the first foreign leader to do so. He was half American. Great speech. Bibi's speech reminded me of great leaders like Reagan and Thatcher. Rare, but they come to the moment. There come the moment. There come the man with balls. Love that.
God,
Love
like
it.
titanium balls.
Right? Oh my gosh. Van Jones cannot stop crying. Like he got choked up over that speech, you guys. Over that speech.
He asked the question, does character still matter? Well, it does tonight. It does tonight. The kid with the stutter did good.
Oh
did
my
good.
God.
That's a good man. You fell on the sword. You fell on the sword.
Are you kidding
Most
me?
heroes, they fight to the bitter end. You fell on this sword. He's an old guy, but the heart's still there. You know, the words aren't as clear.
I cannot.
But the love is as clear. The heart is still there.
This guy, we need to send him some Tampax. I cannot with any of this. Like, okay, so he fell on the sword. How did he feel when Trump got shot in the face? Did he cry too? Did he cry for that? I didn't see any tears.
He was mad that Trump was having such a good moment.
Right. So there was no crying for that, but yet Biden fell on the sword during this 11-minute horrible milquetoast speech that he gave. That was it was crappy. His speechwriter should be fired for that speech, and he's crying over that speech. This guy.
It was not something to get emotional about.
It wasn't
at all.
There's something else going on with Van. Like there's something there. Like he really needs to see a therapist about his issues because something's happening under the surface where he's sad about something else. I'm convinced.
Yeah.
There's a lot of crying going on.
He's going through some things. He's going through some stuff. Scott Jennings, though, on that same panel, told it like it is.
Odd to me that just a few weeks ago, heck, a few days ago, most Democrats were still looking into television cameras and saying that this person is up to another 4 years. I mean, he's obviously running on fumes. They weren't cheap fakes, no matter what the government told you.
Exactly.
In fact, I still think it's a legitimate scandal how they ever arrived at the decision to run again in the first place. I still think his family and his top staff have a lot of explaining to do. Most of this seemed like a stump speech to me. It seemed like he gave the speech that he always wanted the campaign to be about, which was he wants credit for this record that he thinks is historic and was not getting out of the campaign. I'm still shocked, by the way, at how easy it is to overthrow the president. I mean, I think of this office, I think we all think of this office as being impenetrable. He got 81 million votes in 2020, and then he got 14 million more. But at the end of the day, he was no match for a handful of party bosses who run the Democratic Party. So, look, I'm happy to give him all the grace that he deserves because he's on his way out. But at the end of the day,
yeah, it really sounds like that.
A bunch of people.
That's coming next.
A bunch of people looked into TV cameras over the last days, weeks, and months, and told you a lot of things, that were not true about this president. I hope he is okay for the next few months, but it was obvious it was time, not tonight, but a while ago.
Yeah, and I'm talking to you, CNN and MSNBC, liars.
Liar, big fat liars, big fat, and we will not forget. Do not let them change your mind or do the Men in Black pen at you. Because
no, I mean it's like a bad relationship. They just continually gaslight and lie and lie and lie and cheat and lie. And then these other people are just like, oh, I'm going to continue to be in this relationship with this person. I'm not. Oh my God. Go away.
Curio23 says 10 plus years ago, when y'all did open questions after the radio show, I asked who would go ginger first. I win, as y'all's answer was never. Love it, Daisy. I don't remember that. I don't remember saying never, because you've been read before, as we talked about this morning. Like when our book released, like our book cover, you're pretty red.
I'm pretty red. I've been like every color, every single color. Yeah, I was pretty red on our book cover. I've been every color, and Mock she's one that resists change in every way, like in all facets of life.
But I was dark brown for a long while.
Yeah, she did do that for a little bit. But when it comes to changing hair color, I've been like every single hair color.
Really, just red and blonde.
I was brunette for a while. I've been brunette in my life. Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay, not since I've known you.
Totally, I've been brunette. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I think, you make it sound like I don't change, but like during the time we've known each other, we have changed as much as each other.
I don't know about
I've
that.
been brown and blonde,
but you don't really change the cut very much. You know what I mean?
No,
like she's resistant to that. But I mean, I've cut it, I've let it go long, I've done that a lot, but I just changed my hair a lot. That's just who I am. Yeah. What's natural, but my natural, Richard wants to know, it's probably more of like an auburny strawberry blonde. That's more of my natural color. Like it's like
closer to it is now.
Closer to what it is now.
Mm-hmm. And I have no idea what my natural color is. Couldn't tell you. I haven't seen it in forever. Jose says, I'm tired about hearing about this kid from Scranton. Take my money.
I do.
All right, let's get to Trump, because he also, again, like yesterday after the show, I was thinking, oh, Thursday is going to be a short show. All we've got is the Joe Biden speech. It'll be fine. And then like everybody was talking and there were protests, and then Trump had a rally, and it was just a lot, which is why it's going to be a long show today.
It's going to be a long show.
So we have, I think so too. Somebody said that you would rock a pixie cut. Cassie, I completely agree. I've been trying to get her to do it forever. She will not.
Everybody with long hair always wants their friend to get a pixie cut. And I find that really interesting. I don't want to do that.
Because some people, I've seen you with your hair up and it looks so good.
I'm not ready for
your hair away from your face. You carry it really, really well. So does my friend Kim. My friend Kim also, I love her hair now, but I loved it most when she had the short hair and she looked like Pink.
I'm just not ready. Not ready for that yet. Maybe like in a decade, but I'm not ready for that yet. Yeah.
Trump had his rally, and it was very, very well attended. Very well attended. Like he filled, I don't even know where he was, somewhere in North Carolina, but this whole stadium or whatever it was chock full of people that had waited for hours and hours and hours to see him. And it was very Trump rally-esque, right? Like he hit all of his good talking points, but he also said to his base that he's been expected to be nice, and he's not gonna.
I was supposed to be nice. They say something happened to me when I got shot. I became nice. And when you're dealing with these people, they're very dangerous people. When you're dealing with them, you can't be too nice. You really can't be. So if you don't mind, I'm not going to be nice. Is that okay?
I kind of love it. I mean,
it's great for his base. It's not going to help. Not going to help draw people in.
I don't know about that. I don't know. Listen, I think that he is nice. I think the guy is nice, like on a personal level. Everybody who knows him personally, he is a nice guy.
Why won't he show it more?
Because they're freaking assholes to him, Mock. They've tried to ruin everything about his life. They've literally tried to destroy him. They tried to kill him. So, I mean, I would probably be the same way. I'd be a little on guard. Just a little bit.
On guard is very, very different from being how he can be.
I probably would not be extremely nice to people either if they tried to kill me and ruin everything that I love and I have. I probably would be a little bit on the abrasive side too. Maybe. I mean, I'm abrasive now. can you imagine if somebody, like if people were out to get me, trying to kill me all the time? Imagine how I'd act.
It'd be tough.
I would be hard. I'd be really
I'd be
hard
afraid
to
of
live
you.
with. I know. This is the thing. So, I mean, if you look at the way that he's handled things, I think he for all intents and purposes, he's done okay. Like, you know, and if he's going to be a little bit angry, I think he's earned that right to be a little bit mean. You know?
I don't begrudge him the right to be mean. I'm just saying it's not going to help the people who hate him. Do you know what I mean? Like the people who are dug in because they think he's mean and who can't vote for him because he's so mean, it's not going to help. That's all I'm saying. So if we're trying to expand the base of voters, he probably should just try to expand it and not only appeal to the people that love this who are already with him.
Perhaps
100%.
he can remind people why he's a little bit abrasive. Perhaps he just needs to remind them, hey, they tried to shoot me in the face. Hey, everybody.
Yeah.
Or
Reminding
actually
people about the policies and how they've treated him, all totally
Right.
fair game.
And then just
But,
throw
like-
in that also they shot me in the face. They tried to kill me. Just throw that in every once in a while. And people are like, oh, yeah, that's right. That's why he's a little bit abrasive every once in a while. And it's, you know.
He had the National Border Patrol Council president on stage with him. And that guy, he was tough. It was good. And he was very straightforward. I loved this guy.
Kamala Harris knows what she needs to do. I was there. I gave her all of the policies that she needed. All of them. And she refused to implement them. She does not care about you. She does not care about the safety of this country. He does. This is the man for the presidency.
Yeah.
I love it. That's fantastic. More of that, please. More of that.
Yes. More of that, please. Karen Elliott says, I'm concerned that if President Biden passes away before the election, they'll win on the sympathetic vote alone, no matter what.
That's a really great point.
That's kind of terrifying, isn't it?
It could happen. I've seen that floating around, and I agree with you. And because people are so dumb, I feel sorry for that party, so I'm going to vote for them.
Yeah,
Why?
but can't you see Kamala just using that in honor of Joe Biden? Vote for me to carry on his legacy.
Right.
I mean,
what legacy? It's a legacy of suck.
It really is a legacy of suck.
Hashtag legacy of suck.
Unfortunately, though, she's getting a lot of support. She was here in Indianapolis yesterday speaking to, again, as we said, members of a Black sorority.
Zeta Phi Beta.
And it was an enormous crowd. Here is the welcoming that she got when she was first taking the stage.
To be elected Vice President of the United States, Kamala Harris.
Is that her song? What is that?
What's that? I don't know.
Did she get a song?
I guess she has a song.
Maybe it's Zeta Phi Beta song. I don't know.
Oh, maybe.
Project.
It was.
I wonder if I tried to get into Zeta Phi Beta if they'd let me in, because
No,
I'm
you're not
super
allowed.
white. Look, I mean, I'm like so white. I'm ginger now, basically.
They do not allow people of pallor.
That's what. Yeah, but I mean, like in my sorority, we let Black girls in. So I'm just wondering, how that works. I'm just putting it out there. We could probably do a deep dive on that. Just wondering how that works.
She also continues, because I think their internal stats show that people are responding well. Her people are responding well to this whole lie about Trump having anything to do with Project 2025. So here she is, just doing some big fat lies about it.
Project 2025, a plan to return America to a dark past. They intend to cut Medicare, to repeal our $35 cap on insulin,
Lies.
to eliminate the Department of Education,
Lies.
to end programs like Head Start,
Lie.
which would take away preschool for hundreds of thousands of children in our communities. Let's be clear. This represents an outright attack on our children, our families, and our future. These extremists want to take us back, but we are not going back. We are not going back.
It's just total lies. 2025 is not, it's not his.
And when you have the USA Today even fact checking it, I mean, come on, like enough already.
Do you think anybody in that room was like, I'm going to go see what USA Today has to say about this and whether or not it was fact checked? They don't give a crap. They believed everything that she said. And they were
up.
I have people all over my Facebook feed spewing this nonsense about Project 2025. Oh, it's Trump. It's like the Republicans are totally like trying to do. Listen, I'd be delighted if they got rid of the Department of Education. That would be fan-freaking-tastic, right? That's what Vivek wanted to do.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, yes, please do that. But it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. It's not on Trump's agenda.
Right.
And he is distancing himself from it. He is like, that is not what I want to do. In fact, we have an agenda. Y'all can go look it up if you had the wherewithal to do that. But no, you want to spew this nonsense. And I'm attached to Project 2025 because you want to scare people, which is precisely what they're doing.
And they're good at it. I mean,
Yeah,
you got to
they are.
hand it to them. They're pretty good at it.
They lie and they cheat and they lie and they cheat.
Reba Henry says they won't like him even if he is nice. They're evil. I mean, that's true for sure about some people, but there's a handful of people out there, even probably like your friend who is like coming around to being a Republican, but still has a really tough time with Trump. It would be nice for her to see post-shooting Trump be somewhat changed, right? Be somewhat more of a person that she feels comfortable about voting for.
A softer side.
There's a ton of people like that.
I think there are ways to do that without changing his entire personality. And I think
absolutely,
like what we saw at the RNC at the convention was we saw more of family Trump.
Right.
And I think that's something that I know that would be appealing to her and her husband, is seeing more grandfather Trump and father Trump and that side of him, because it humanizes him, because he has been so dehumanized. So if we could see if his people could actually put more of him in that light out there in the general public, that would be beneficial for his campaign. He could still stay abrasive because there's corporate Trump, you know what I mean? There's like professional business Trump, there's President Trump, and then there's family Trump. And I think that's okay to have that dichotomy. I'm good with that. But it's nice to see like him with his grandkids and him with his kids, because then you're like, oh yeah, that's right. He's a human being. That's right. And they love him. And there's a reason that they love him. It's because he's lovable.
M. Rincon, thank you, says fight, fight, fight. Hashtag legacy of suck. Elizabeth Warren, remember her?
Yeah,
Pocahontas?
I do. Yeah, the fake Indian.
She was on, I think it's with Caitlin Collins, where she's asked, what would you say Kamala's biggest accomplishment is? And this is how lame. This is all she could come up with, you guys. It's hilarious.
What do you think has been her biggest accomplishment since she's been vice president?
Oh, I have to say, since the Dobbs opinion, the way that she has rallied women and friends of women, also called men, around this country on the issue of abortion, and just taken it home. First vice president in history to visit an abortion clinic. Go get them. You know,
that's it. That's her.
She visited a Planned Parenthood, you guys. Wow. It's like, that's her biggest accomplishment in 3.5 years.
Go get them.
Go get them. What a freaking idiot. Oh my God.
Oh my God.
It's her biggest accomplishment. That's what she's done. Wow. If that's all you can name, that she actually went to a Planned Parenthood, that's it. That's it. You are a failure.
There was a focus group of swing voters in Wisconsin who were asked about this whole idea of a cover-up and whether they buy into that.
Who do you blame for President Biden being in office in this condition? Who deserves the blame?
His close staff. They work with him every day.
So I think that's what also makes me nervous about the Vice President Harris.
Talk about that a bit.
So yes, she's going to be in it, but but she also helped keep him in where he's at right now. And if he really is as bad as what they've been saying, I think if he steps down as president and she steps into the presidency before the end of his term, it almost makes me question a little bit more why it didn't happen sooner. She's worked with him. She's been, to my understanding, with him daily, or at least a couple of days a week. Why hasn't this been brought to her attention? If she's willing to hide that type of information once she's in office, now what she's willing to hide for herself.
Does anyone agree with Alyssa's point that it calls into the vice president's judgment that she has been around while Biden's health has deteriorated?
100% agree. But it also seems like that's kind of how she carries herself. She kind of does what in the moment she needs to do to continue to move forward and move up.
Wow.
And so
so that guy's like, she's shifty AF.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. It's
I
very
thought that was
interesting.
interesting.
And on MSNBC of all places.
Yeah.
That's very interesting. All right. Well, yeah, she's an accomplice to the family that put him in that position and all the other people, the cabal that's behind the scenes running the show. People know what's going on.
Of course. Of
Mhm.
course.
And they
she
just
definitely does.
It's so insulting. Listen, there are a lot of stupid people out there, a lot, but then there's not. And it's insulting to the Americans that know what's going on when they think that we don't.
I hope that we outnumber the stupid, but I worry about that. I worry about that all the time because, like, for example, Aaron Burnett on CNN is now thinking Harry Sisson is worthy of being on her show.
Your friends who were like, who are you? You're out here doing politics. That's awful. What's wrong with you? What are they saying now?
Yeah, so I've had people I haven't spoken to in a long time, kind of in just friends I also speak to who are not interested in politics, reaching out to me saying, how do I get involved? How do I help Vice President Kamala Harris beat Donald Trump? And for me, it's just shocking. I just haven't seen anything like this.
Wow, you're interested in what I do. Okay.
The number.
I hate his face.
I know. I hate it too.
I know that's a mean thing to say. It's just not nice, but I can't help it. I hate his face.
I mean, I think you're not alone for
It's-
sure.
What is it about his face? It's just like
It's like his eyes are too small or something, and he's
Mhm.
like his skin is too, I don't know, thick. Like he has a thick skinned face. Do you know what I mean? Do you know what I mean? Like, is it just me?
It's like it's made of pudding. His
Right?
face
Let's
is-
just look at
Let's
it.
look at it. Let's look. It's like it's made of vanilla pudding. I can't. His face, you guys.
It's just really thick.
It
Like
is.
his skin is.
He
too
may
thick.
already be doing Botox. You're right. Probably.
Oh my God.
Who does he look like, Mock? You're so good at this.
Oh, he only looks like his stupid
Himself.
skin
He
face.
just
Yeah.
looked like his pudding self. I don't.
Yeah.
God, I can't. He's such a soy boy. I just.
Oh, the worst.
So
the
much
worst.
soy. That's what soy does to you guys. Quit feeding soy to your boys. That's what it does.
Kamala is drawing some support from Black men. I guess there's a group of folks called Win with Black Men who raised $1.3 million for her campaign. But there's still hope that Trump is gaining momentum when it comes to the Black vote. Here is some information about that from CNN.
Now we're basically 70-something percent, 77%, or there it is, 76% would go with Kamala Harris. 21% with Donald Trump. Those are historic highs for a Republican, never mind Donald Trump, who I think got, a heck of a lot less than that.
You have any.
So, I mean, it doesn't look good when you see those numbers, but
Did they know that she's married to a white man? Actually, like almost a white woman. Did they know?
right?
Did they know that? We need to tell all those Black men who she's married to. I'm just pointing that out.
Yeah, I mean, she had her pick of the litter, and
yeah, she could have married Montel Williams, but
she
no.
could have.
But she didn't. She chose a white dude and a very
also a thick-skinned white dude,
very soyish white dude too.
And I
know
don't
why-
mean thick skin like that's a good thing, because it's good to have a thick skin, like
Right.
metaphorically. I'm saying physically having thick skin looks weird, and
It's
they
the
both
soy. Again, it's the soy. A lot of
Yeah.
it.
Yep. The Trump Vance campaign team have put out a fantastic new ad about Kamala's border czar failures. This is awesome.
To visit the border.
At some point, we've been to the border.
You haven't been to the border.
And I haven't been to Europe.
What's your point?
I don't understand the point that you're making.
What an embarrassment. I haven't been to Europe? Are you kidding me? What does that have to do with anything?
The vice president being ripped for this tone-deaf reaction to the growing crisis.
Do you plan to visit the border?
Not today.
He's a very unserious person about an incredibly serious crisis.
The White House has no idea what border czar Kamala Harris is doing about the migrant surge.
When are you going to the border, Vice President? The administration has asked. I'm not finished. I've said I'm going to the border.
Kamala Harris has been put in charge of trying to figure out the root causes, why all those people from Central America come here.
In 2017, she tweeted, "Say it loud, say it clear. Everyone is welcome here."
She was given this job. She doesn't take it seriously.
Overall, we are seeing progress.
Laken Riley, her accused killer, came to the U.S. illegally.
Is in the country illegally when he murdered that officer.
The illegal immigrant now accused of killing a mother and son while driving drunk.
An undocumented immigrant convicted of rape.
An 18-year-old illegal immigrant on a rape charge in Hicksville, Ohio.
Officials in Texas have seized more than 400 million doses of fentanyl.
Still no plans for Vice President Kamala Harris to go visit the border.
I've been to the border before. I will go again.
She hasn't been as vice president, though.
She's pandering to her open border base. That's what this administration does.
It is ridiculous. Obviously, it is embarrassing for America that this is our vice president.
Oh, damn.
Mm-hmm. They need to keep pummeling America with these.
Mm-hmm. That was a good ad.
Yeah, I mean, it's fantastic. And there's so many different issues they can do that on.
Right.
It's just endless.
The list is long.
Oh my God, it is. Yeah.
And Scott Adams is wanting to just remind everybody that it's not a done deal for Trump. He says the current political situation favors Harris to win. Most of politics is just the media brainwashing its own team.
Yep.
The Democrat media is better at it. All they needed was a candidate younger than 80.
Yep.
They erased Trump's assassination survival energy in less than a week. Yes. Trump will need his triple A+ game to beat the brainwashers. We have only seen his A+ game, but he has more. Do not fall for the idea that Harris's policies or likability or experience will matter in the end. This is a media persuasion battle. And that's why we're up against major headwinds because the media is in the tank for her.
Isn't it remarkable how he was almost killed and that lasted 3 days,
right?
3 days. And then it's crazy. I just cannot believe it. Like that is how powerful the media machine is. It's a machine. And it's like, people are saying this now too. It's not just a candidate. We are up against a machine.
Yeah, that's absolutely right. Mm-hmm. Absolutely right. Aaron Powers says Harry's face looks like a foot.
It does look like the bottom of a foot.
Like a foot. That's where you have really thick skin.
Yes, it is the bottom of a foot. Oh my God, you're so right. We were so searching for it, and you delivered. This is why I love our community. Thank you.
Julie Wolf says, genuine question. What do they do with money raised for campaigns? How is it spent? Why would they need so much? It's for all the TV advertising and for, I mean, I don't know beyond that what
it's
they
for
do.
Their house. They spend it on their house and furniture and fancy trips. I mean, let's just get real. It's fun. It's funding Obama and is what is it? The home in the Hamptons? Probably that. They don't have to account for it, right? Do they? No.
Our friend Dana Spain on Venmo says, good morning, beauties from Canada. There is hope. I flipped a never Trumper to MAGA once Kamala was announced as the nominee. Her position on Israel was the last straw. Fight.
I hope she's not Canadian.
Yeah, don't be. Yeah, because we need to vote
to be American. But yay!
Also, we've been spending some time this week just kind of reminding folks of some of Kamala's best hits, and I found two more that I thought were just amazing. Because do you guys remember when she went to France and tried to adopt a French accent? Do you guys remember that?
I don't remember.
Oh, you'll remember as soon as I start playing.
It was very Hillary-esque. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
With us in government, we campaign with the plan. Uppercase T, uppercase P, the plan.
Gosh, an idiot. I can't.
I'd completely forgotten about that.
I can't with her.
Ziplan.
Ziplan.
And then also, I had not seen this before, but apparently there are rumors on the Twitter sphere or the X sphere that she's drunk a lot, which I had not heard. I don't know.
I believe it. I totally believe it because it's she learned that from Nancy. Nancy's like, this is how you get through it.
So listen, I'm not trying to start a rumor. I'm just simply reporting on a rumor that is already out there.
I'll start it. Yeah.
But here's an example that people were floating around of a time that they believe she was either smoking something or she was drunk. And she does sound a little weird in this.
Never let anyone take your joy from you. I call myself a joyful warrior. Right? Never let anyone take your joy from you.
Yeah.
You do what you gotta do. And isn't that a wonderful way to live? To know you have purpose.
That's weird, you guys.
It is weird. It's like sitting with your girlfriend at dinner after like a whole bottle of wine. Don't let anybody take your joy from you. Don't do it, girl. All right. Dump his ass. Dump him.
It's
all
so
right.
weird.
That's exactly right. It was exactly what just happened there.
You know who's mad about how undemocratically she has been basically coronated? Remember Marianne Williamson?
So mad because she's like, why wasn't it me? Well, I have a crown and everything. Why wasn't it
me?
Marianne
Williamson actually received primary votes, unlike Kamala. So I get that she's mad. She said, without an open convention, untarnished by rules and bylaws that make it almost impossible for anyone but Kamala to make it onto the process, the Democratic nominee for president will be saddled with a stain of illegitimacy for which we will pay heavily in November. God, I hope she's right.
She tweeted this from her astral projection.
Also, have you guys seen, and we don't even have time to get into the video evidence of this because we've already been at 2 hours, but there's a 10-minute video from James O'Keefe about ActBlue, which of course is the organization that so much money is raised for Kamala and the Democrats, but really it seems more laundered. And now there's like actually a lot of weird stories about them, including James O'Keefe stories. But this is another. ActBlue disabled their credit card verification process. So as long as card numbers are valid, name and address don't need to match the actual card owners. This is not allowed on any other donation platform. It results in higher transaction fees. And they're asking the question, why? Well, apparently we got this message from Mike Sassman, who said he got his inspiration from James O'Keefe. He searched for donations on the FEC website, and a coworker of his has 100 donations of $1 to $5 on the same day. So that may be on purpose. Like maybe his coworker is a total Democrat who wants it to look like there's all these separate grassroots donors, which is not true. But what James O'Keefe's like expose showed is that they're using a name and an address of one person and then making it look like a zillion different donations came from that address when they didn't. So there's people that are going to some of these homes, and they're mostly elderly people, and they're like, hey, did you make 300 different 50-cent donations to the Joe Biden campaign? And they're like, no, but that's where the donations are tied to, is that name and that address. So they are totally laundering money. And James O'Keefe has a huge expose about it, which everybody definitely needs to read or to watch.
Who's shocked? Raise their hands.
Right? I mean, it's so they cheat. This is what they do.
It's absolutely what they do. And if you align with Democrats, you're aligning with cheaters and liars. They have no morals, you guys. These people are the absolute scum of the earth.
Yep. Totally. And so definitely check that out if you haven't.
The one that the shooter gave money to? Didn't he give money to ActBlue?
Yeah, I think that's right. That's right.
Yeah.
Another thing that we didn't have time to get too much into today is the fact that Christopher Wray was testifying in a committee hearing at the House yesterday about the assassination attempt. And it was maddening because so many of the questions that they asked, he was like, oh, well, that's part of the Secret Service investigation.
Yeah.
Which then reminds you of when Kim Cheadle was testifying saying, oh, well, that's happening in the FBI investigation. So it's like nobody's ever going to get any answers.
Right. And Trump wants him fired too. And I don't blame him.
Yeah.
I mean, he wants him to resign. And I don't think he has any plans. He's like, I'm not even leaving. Another one. He's not leaving either. So it's like, where does the buck stop? Where does it? Is there a buck? Does it stop anywhere? I don't know. Where's the buck, you guys? The federal government. Who knows?
Well, and now the Secret Service is openly suggesting to Trump's campaign that they not have outdoor rallies any longer. So to me, I'm super relieved about it because I don't want him to be in danger. But also, it is ridiculous that they're openly admitting, yeah, we can't take care of you. We can't protect you.
We can't.
I mean, that's freaking crazy.
We're incapable. We're completely incompetent. So no more outdoor rallies. Wow.
Right?
It's insane.
Yeah, it's crazy.
But listen, I'm not going to resign. We're completely incompetent, but I'm not going to resign. Wow.
Also, Brandon Johnson, mayor of Chicago, attended the American Federation for Teachers Union hullabaloo, like whatever thing that they were having. They were having a big get together. And he said the weirdest shit during his talk. And everybody's raising eyebrows about it, rightly so, because what he is suggesting about how teachers behave in general is freaking crazy. Just watch.
What's up, AFT? How y'all doing? Yes. I can hear a little alcohol in the air. I'm gonna.
What?
Just feels like 8th period on the last day of school in here. Just working on that in your union contract so you don't got to sneak it out of your desk.
Well, that's great. That makes me feel good about it.
Fantastic.
Public education. Right. My God. Like
Oh
it
my
wasn't bad enough, dude. Let's go ahead and do that.
Oh my God.
And they're all drunk. That's great. Okay.
Thanks for admitting that out loud, Mayor.
So
good job.
They're not teaching and they're drunk. That's fantastic.
This person, Nick Peterson, this is courtesy of Nick Peterson, very excited that there is a new drug available for Kamala supporters.
I used to believe everything I'd see on the news, but that's before I discovered a brain.
A brain is meant for everyday use. Those living with moderate to severe stupidity have seen immediate improvement in common sense with a brain.
I thought the government had my best interests at heart, and then a friend told me about a brain.
Yes. Talk to your doctor about what news sources you obey. A brain may also lower your desire to take life-altering advice from celebrities.
Getting lectured about my carbon footprint from people with 3 private jets used to make sense. But thanks to a brain, now I can think for myself every day. When my disregard for 3rd grade biology began to flare up, I knew it was time for a brain.
Do not try a brain if you're allergic to a brain. Common side effects may include accountability, discernment, homeschooling your kids, a better understanding of economics, awareness of the stupidity of socialism, and diarrhea.
For tethering yourself to reality, the only no-brainer is choosing a brain.
So
Ask your doctor
fantastic.
if a brain is right for you.
Or don't.
For more
Don't ask
information,
your
visit
doctor.
tryabrain.com.
I just wouldn't even ask your doctor. Don't do that. That would be my recommendation. Just don't ask anybody. Just get an effing brain. Just do that. Don't ask.
God, I love that so much.
So fantastic.
Laura says Trump is harsh because if not, our enemies would see a weak man like Joe. Okay, you guys, come on. You know the difference between strength like Bibi and strength just being mean and saying cackling Kamala or lying Kamala. There's a difference. That difference is what I'm talking about. So Bibi doesn't have to use those kinds of names to project strength. That's all I'm saying. Neither does Trump, but he will. And it's a turnoff to some people. It's not to you guys.
I bet you that Bibi uses them behind closed doors,
Which
though.
is fine.
Like he's laying in bed with his wife and he's like, you know, that crazy biatch. You know he does. It's like in his buttery voice. God.
Oh my God. I love it.
It's probably so hot too. You know it is. Yeah.
But that's the difference. And that's all I'm saying. So
I hear you.
Lyle Culpepper, you know I love him. He has a new song that the brainchild of it is because of Kamala's unburdening. He's written a song especially for her.
To see what can be unburdened by what has been.
I can imagine what can be and be unburdened by what has been.
What can be unburdened by what has been.
It's time for us to do what we've been doing, and that time is every day. There's great significance in the passage of time in terms of what we need to do to lay these wires. You exist in the context of all in which you live and what came before you. You think you just fell out of a coconut tree, unburdened by what has been, what we believe can be.
It's actually a pretty good song.
I know.
It's very Blink 182.
Yes.
Here's to 4 more years of word salad.
Get her dancing. Yes. It's gonna be Mock's ringtone. It's
I
really
love
good.
that.
Very Blink 182-esque. It's good. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
About to share with you the most precious story about Tucker Carlson. So precious, you guys. Okay, so this was one of the speakers at the RNC, Annette Albright. And she said, don't always believe what you hear about people. Get to know them for yourself. Last Thursday, as I waited hair and makeup before my speech at the RNC, a man entered the room and I watched as people began to excitedly gather around him. I was seated alone at a table in the back as I was engulfed in nerves and contemplating all the possible mistakes I could make in front of a national audience. The man made his way back to the room, grabbed a bottle of water, asked me if anyone was sitting in the empty chair at my table. I told him no, and he sat down. He asked me if I was a speaker, and I told him yes. He asked me if I was nervous, and I said yes. Nervous was written all over my face. The man quickly grabbed my hands and began to pray. After the prayer, he gave me tips on how to speak to the audience, and he assured me that I had this and I was going to be awesome. After about 15 minutes, I felt comfortable enough to tell him that my coworker is a huge fan and would he mind taking a picture. The man looks at me and laughs. He immediately reached for my phone and said, "We're going to make a video." We made the video and it was epic. That man was Tucker Carlson. And here is the video.
It's Tucker Carlson. I'm with your friend, Annette.
Oh my God.
Backstage at the Republican convention, we're both speaking. We're both a little nervous. Annette seems a little less nervous than I do. Annette seems to have this under control, actually. We're just talking about you, and I wanted to say hi. I'm sorry you're missing it, but we're thinking about you. See ya.
I cannot.
Can you
even? That is just the sweetest story. It really, really is.
Isn't it?
Yeah. God bless him.
I loved it so much.
What a wonderful, wonderful story. And you know what? She's so right. Like, get to know people for yourself, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And again, with the media painting people as something that they're not. So many people are like, he's terrible. He's awful. He's like a Nazi. He's this, he's that. I can just tell that he's probably like the most genuinely awesome person.
Isn't that just the greatest story?
Mm-hmm.
I just loved it.
Yeah.
All right. It is time for your DDs.
Okay. So there's this dog who was a bat dog for like a baseball something or other. I didn't even know they had these, but this sweet dog reminded me of Ella, your lab, and except for she doesn't have the wonky ear like Ella has. And she's retiring from being a bat dog. And I just love this little story. So you guys check this out.
Look at that.
Layla.
She's so old. Look at her.
God, I love
her. I do too.
I love her so much.
What a sweet baby. Just a sweet baby girl. I love her so much. She's such a good girl. I just loved her. Anyways, I had to share that. And then also yesterday we had a conversation about how frogs were committing suicide in my pool. And I was sad about it. And so people, of course, our community, they heeded the call. They were like, Daisy, this is what you need. You guys, I didn't even know
amazing.
They're like little ramps that you can put in your pool to get frogs out. These are in my Amazon cart right now. I'm going to buy these.
I don't even know which one you should get. They're all so neat. Like,
yeah, there's that one. They have like round ones. I don't know.
And look, there's a squirrel on this one. Like squirrels can then like maybe just get a little drink and then get out.
I'm getting one. I'm totally getting one for my pool. And hopefully we'll save some frogs and toads. Yeah. So thank you for the suggestion. I didn't even know that these existed. I'm super excited about it. I'll let you know how this goes.
Awesome. All right. And I have 3 precious videos for you. The first one is just monkeys putting me to shame. I don't know about you guys, but I am not nearly coordinated enough to use chopsticks. I've never been able to do it.
Yeah, me neither.
It doesn't matter how many times I've been taught. I cannot do it. My husband's a pro at it. I cannot do it.
Mine.
Really?
Greg always asks for chopsticks. And I'm
so
like,
does Ron.
It's so bizarre. Like, what is it about our dudes? Because I'm always like, I'm going to use a fork because I'm in America. Thank you.
Right. Exactly.
That's what I always do. And he's like, whatever. And he's just and he can use them really well. I don't understand. Yeah.
I don't either. But these monkeys are eating with chopsticks and they're freaking pros at it. How is this?
They're better than I am. I can't do that. Yeah. I've just,
oh my God.
I get so frustrated. I'm like, give me a fork.
Yeah. This dog does not want to go home from the park, you guys. He does not want to go, and I love him.
Oh my gosh. Look. No, Mom, I don't go. No. Oh my God, I love him. I don't want to go. I don't want to go. Okay, fine. Fine if we have to.
All right. And then for the last thing, and then you guys, we will bring back normal talks like once the news cycle slows down.
Which will probably be in 2025, like I said.
I have hope for tomorrow. Is there anything going on today? Like, is it going to be a really long
You
day
said
today
this
in news?
yesterday. You said this yesterday, and then the world explodes. This is what don't jinx it.
But like, there's no world leaders coming, right? Like, there's nothing there's no speeches being made. Can everything just be normal today?
I don't know. I think that's too much to ask.
I can't take it.
I know.
I can't take it anymore. But the thing that we're gonna go out with is the feel goodest story ever. Like, I cried when I saw this. Now, if you are Brazilian and you know that this is not true, I don't know if it's true or not, because I'm not Brazilian. I have no idea what their customs and culture is, okay? If this is not true, please don't tell me. Just please let me believe that this is true, okay?
Don't burst the bubble.
Don't ruin this for anybody. Let's just assume that the caption that you're about to see and the video that immediately follows is, in fact, what we're singing, okay? Can you just not ruin it, all right? I don't want to know if it's not true. Tracy Booten says, gotta stop playing these tear jerkers when I'm putting my makeup on for work. Love you from Tucker. Okay, well, get ready. I hope you haven't put more mascara on because this is the sweetest. So here's what I saw on Twitter. In Brazil, it is tradition to share your first slice of birthday cake with the one you love the most. And here is that happening with a little guy celebrating his birthday and his little brother.
Pedaço. Muito bem, Rian. Primeiro pedaço. Vai para uma pessoa muito legal, muito querida que é mamãe. Antônio! Que foi, amor? Ficou emocionado.
I wish I knew what they were saying.
The most precious thing
It's
ever.
just the sweetest thing. So sweet.
God.
Good boys.
I don't care if it's not true. I don't care.
Don't tell us.
Okay, somebody says it's a common tradition. I'm Brazilian. Thank you.
Oh my God,
Topanga.
Topanga, thank you. What a beautiful, beautiful tradition.
Yay.
I want to have that tradition in my house. I love that. I want to
It's so
adopt that
sweet.
tradition. It's beautiful. I love it.
Ugh. My God, that was too much. Too much.
Awesome.
Anyway, those were your sort of talks for today.
All right, you guys.
And then one more thing. Can I just say shout out to Taylor Soapworks, who sent some more soap.
I got the soap too. Are you going to show it? Are you going to show the soap?
Well, I'm going to read the letter because the letter was important. So she said, it was great to meet her. She said, you will find enclosed 3 of my latest bar soaps, wrongfully convicted, extremely deplorable, revenge and retribution. They smell so good. You
oh my
guys.
God. They're amazing scents, you guys.
Yeah.
So yummy.
So she said, just so you know, I had just packaged and listed wrongfully convicted when President Trump got shot. My husband said that I should rename it Bulletproof. So I started on the artwork, relabeled boxes, and listed on my personal Facebook page, and had actually sold a few when we heard that someone had been killed and someone had been injured. At that point, we didn't know how many. Remorse over profiting from others' misfortunes began to take hold of my soul. I did not know about the GoFundMe authorized by President Trump until your show on Monday. I then gave the proceeds from those sales to the fund. So she's now created also the Filthy Republican, which is the fresh aroma of lower taxes, small government, and a stronger military, and the Filthy Democrat, which has the fresh aroma of free college, larger government, and health care for all. She said she sold out of the Filthy Republican, but no one wanted a Filthy Democrat because they have zero sense of humor. Thank you for continuing to allow me to be part of your ABS. Taylor Soapworks.
You guys, they really are amazing. And I had the opportunity to spend time with them in the airport on the way back from our meet and greet. We had like a 2-hour just like sitting there hanging out, and they're just lovely people. So definitely support them if you can. They're awesome.
And I think you can still find those on our sponsor page at chicksontheright.com and look for our sponsors and our ABS sponsors. So
yeah.
Yay.
We're bringing it in.
Yes, bring it in.
We're bringing it in, you guys. What a show.
Holy crap.
21 minutes.
Yeah, that's the longest show ever.
Longest show ever. You guys have an amazing, amazing day. And we will talk to you tomorrow. Bye, everybody.